Alright, so we're here with Frantic Youth today. You guys consider yourselves to be an indie band from the Midwest, is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out to Kearney. Have you guys been to Kearney before?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. I don't know why I asked you that. I was at your studio session.
Yeah. I got family here, so it's like I'm here all the time.
No way, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool, Connor.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just got out of a studio session with Morgan Rezak. Talk to me a little bit about your time at Secret Studios.
So that night, let's start off where we were the night. So we got into the studio on Saturday, right? And so we all started hanging out Friday night about 5 o'clock. We did a little rehearsal, and we went on some side quest. Got some kids some flowers to ask this girl out.
Yeah, we'll go back on that.
We'll go back on
that. That's the whole story.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so we're all staying the night at Connor's house. All on his couch is big because he's got that big classic rich white guy house with the big leather couch.
The Lazy Boys.
Yes, and we're all sleeping down in this basement. It's glorious. And like
we had Jackass on. Jackass season 4 was on.
Yeah. I'll let you know, and we all get to sleep, right? And
I'll let
you go.
We're all sleeping. Like I don't know how we got to sleep because it was like super late and like none of us were tired for some reason, but we all ended up going to sleep. And my cat like jumps on the piano when she wants attention. So she jumps on the piano, wakes us all up, and Jose is like, "Dude, your cat's playing the piano. Like, your cat's Beethoven." And Danny's like, in lack of better words, Danny's like, "Dude, shut up! Like, be quiet. I'm trying to."
He
sleep.
did it more than that, but it wasn't. It was
we're not too family friendly, but like he just like goes off for like 45 seconds straight on Jose, and Josh and I are like wide awake. I guess they're sleep talking. And, like, Josh and I are like, what the hell? And we just go back to sleep. We go back to sleep, and, like Danny starts snoring, like, a minute later. So it's like I don't know if he was, like, even, like, conscious when that all happened. But, like, they don't remember it, so Josh and I do.
Okay, but anyway, so we get to the studio. It was it was actually our second time in the studio. First time did not pan out. The dude was like...
Oh, that's...
You guys tried somewhere before Secret Studios.
But the place doesn't exist anymore. They are defunct. And they went defunct with our files unmastered.
We still paid him, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
never got that
don't
money
even
back.
complain. He still owed me $50.
And he got divorced.
Yeah.
He was, like, complaining about his wife the whole time. It was hilarious.
So I'd redact the name, but, like, we recorded... had all our files, and honestly, the raw recording, like, in the studio sounded pretty good.
Then we got it back and it just sounded
But then, he got divorced or something like that, got kicked out of the house, and then he just had, like, a laptop and, like, a really small mixer in this hotel room, and for whatever reason, the file was just, like, got all janky. And then, like, we're like, dude, where's our files that it's been months? Like, you told us it'd be a week.
So that we would have it like done like a year ago. But okay, so we're at Secret Studios, and so like our new experience is like absolutely great with Morgan.
Yeah,
really good guy. We liked that he was like, he had different ideas and stuff.
Yeah, he was really just open minded.
Yeah, so we laid down the tracks in like 8 hours or so, and I actually had my first Red Bull at that studio. And so, like, we put down all of the...
your Red Bull sobriety was broken.
Yeah. I've never had an energy drink before. I drank a lot of coffee before that. But so, like, we laid down all the, like... If you're a musician, we did, like, full band, and then we just kept the drum tracks. We go to lunch at Chick-fil-A.
On campus.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Chick-fil-A. And then we come back, and it's my turn to overdub my guitar tracks. And I'm, like, I'm tired, and I had my first Red Bull. And I mean, like, everybody else left the room because it was, like, really loud. And I'm just, like, tweaking out, laying down my stuff. Everything was a one take because I was so pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. We kind of, like... Well, I got done with the drums super early, and Jose was last. So me, Jose, and then Josh's buddy, Cristobal, like, we all just, like, walked from... Like, the studio's, like, 7 blocks away from downtown. So we walked downtown and, like... We shot pool and went to the record store, Buffalo Records, shout out. So it was pretty cool. Like, it was fun. I got a Miles Davis record. So
and I got a case of without a disc of my favorite band, but
a Papa Roach case, with no CD.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Oh, man, that guy who stole that disc, man.
I had to leave the guitarist in the studio alone.
Yeah.
Me and Danny thugged it out.
Yeah,
by
we
ourselves.
tugged it out. It was actually pretty nice because I had to lay down the
Yeah,
tracks.
well, we were just like in the way.
And we
Like
didn't have
well,
the yappers.
yeah, when we were
Yeah.
done in the studio, we were just in the way. So I was like, we might as well leave and
Yeah,
like,
just-
go do something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
It was nice.
It was really nice
It was
having
nice
just
work.
Do you have any
the silence.
You pulled up like halfway through. What are your memories from that?
yeah, you pulled up while we were
Yeah.
gone, and then
Yeah.
we showed up. And
Yeah.
you were
I'm gonna
there.
interview you now.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, you're on the spot.
When I pulled up, everyone was still stressing about Connor having ADHD.
I crashed out on him like 5 times.
Dude, I was like, so like I said, we got like barely any sleep. I had like a huge coffee and a Red Bull, and I was like a short fuse that day. I was just like, everything was pissing me off. I just wanted to move on to the next thing. Like I was just like, and I am very like, like.
I'm always on
Like,
short
very-
fuse, so I crashed out.
Yeah, I'm always like
times.
I'm always like very stereotypical, ADHD. Like just I like to be moving, I like to keep things going, but that day was the worst. Like I literally couldn't sit down and hold sticks for more than 5 minutes.
He asked for a 15-minute long break after we
Yeah.
had played one take, and he's
Okay.
like, "Guys, I need a break." And I'm like,
But to
"No,
be
you
fair-
are not taking a break
To
right
be
now,
fair,
bro. We
the
are on
take
the
of
clock."
the song after that we ended up using has so many like just small errors that probably
After you got a 15-minute long, but you ended up getting the 15-minute long
Oh,
break
that's
because I
true,
crashed
yeah.
out for like 10 minutes,
that but it wasn't really a break. It was like
getting yelled at by me.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, it was our first time in the studio, so we didn't really expect it to go smooth. So, like, those little hiccups, like, I mean,
Adds character.
yeah, adds character, yeah. There's a good story to tell, so.
Well, how many songs did you guys go in with to the studio?
Four.
Yeah.
Four
Yeah.
songs?
Yeah.
So he does a service where he can, like, just record them, or you guys can get them, like, mastered afterwards?
We got
too?
ours
Yeah, we got ours
mastered.
mastered.
Yeah,
we
we
actually
got
got
ours
vinyl mastered. We have vinyl on the way now. I'm ordering that tonight. Like I
Yep.
have the artwork
Yeah.
done. I've got the invoice. I just gotta pay it, and it's on the way.
I will take one.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
And CDs. I mean, the CD master is just the same as the
Yeah.
normal, but.
Well, that's kind of nerdy. They don't. Nobody cares
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
true. Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
like kind of like a classic indie band move to do, like, cassettes, too.
Oh.
Dude, you know how expensive
Yeah.
those are?
Cassettes
And then
are-
there's like a 50 minimum order on them, and it's like, now I'm selling cassettes at $15 a piece. I myself wouldn't buy a cassette at $15
Oh, no.
a piece.
What
That's
about,
what
like,
we
an
got me
8-track? An
Yeah.
8-track, like, no one buys 8-tracks other than the novelty, I guess.
We're cooking up an album right now. That'll probably come out on cassette too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll
Yeah,
take
you'll
all
have
that,
to
yeah.
you'll have to plug us for 8-tracks and the other side.
We are not
No.
getting 8-tracks though.
I think 8-tracks. My dad loves 8-tracks.
Dude,
So
the 8-tracks, but I don't know. I don't feel like teenagers are buying those.
yeah, but old dudes, it's like a good condense.
Yeah.
Like our band. I mean, our band is more
He
anchored
has
towards,
no
like,
idea how money works. That's the
No,
thing. Like,
yeah,
he's
that's
not
true,
on the
but-
business side of the band. He doesn't know how to budget anything. Like,
I mean, I guess our audience is kind of like everywhere,
Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah,
trying to-
like I mean, we kind of like go like for like the college age and like the high school college age.
you might want to rephrase that.
Like we kind of okay, yeah, cut that out. We like kind of cater our audience towards like I know I thought about that like halfway through. We cater our audience towards like college age and high school age, but like we've also gotten a lot of like those like those older
Old head
rockers,
music
yeah,
guys,
those
yeah.
Yeah.
like the Led Zeppelin, the
old
Beatles,
heads.
like
Yeah.
so that's good. Like it's good
Yeah.
that we can kind of get like best of both worlds. So.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you guys think you have such a wide audience of people? Are there, like, certain artists that you guys, like, collectively take to as influences
Yeah.
that kind of made Frantic Youth?
Yeah. I mean,
I think-
we all have our like. own,
How about we?
Well, all of us kind of agree on like the Beatles and just like basic stuff like that, but we all have like our individual that like really influences.
Yeah, let's
like,
go down the line.
So,
and
yeah,
do
I was
that,
gonna
actually.
say
yeah,
that's what I was
What's
saying.
your biggest?
Yeah.
But top 2 influences.
Mm-hmm.
Top 2 influences. Well, I gotta go with Mac DeMarco. I listen to his songs and like I get lost in them a lot. And another influence would be I'd say I don't know if some people know this band, but Joy Again.
I've
Have you
heard
ever
of
sung
them.
Looking Out for You?
You have to send it to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even heard of them.
Yeah. They have like
Yeah.
like some really good songs and
Mhm.
they're like not very well known, but if you listen to them, they're just kind of like a vibe. And yeah, that's probably I say would be
Mhm.
my 2 inspirations.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd say I have quite a bit, but if I had to like tone it down, I think it'd probably be like I listen a lot to the Beatles and like Frank Sinatra. but then I also listen to like Kanye West, and then I listen to other stuff too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where
Highlight
I get it.
the
I just
Kanye.
kind of like, I guess my guitar playing is very kind of, I don't know, bluesy, like very rocky. You know what I mean?
I would agree with
very,
that.
you know.
Rockabilly kind of.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I listen to a lot of different music. Like I've produced music, stuff like that. But like for my drumming, like I like to throw in a lot of like jazz. I'm big into jazz. So Steve Lamos from American Football, he's a big jazz drummer, but like he plays in like a more rock band. And Stuart Copeland from The Police, kind of same too. He's probably my favorite drummer of all time. And Steve Gadd as well. I know that's three, but those are like my biggest. I know those are like my biggest like drumming influences. But like music wise, I guess they kind of already said it. You know, like I'm big in like the Midwest DIY, Midwest emo kind of deal. So, yeah.
I try to like combine a lot of like jazz and punk playing together. Like, you know, I focus a lot less on like chops and more on just the rhythm, because I'm a rhythm guitarist, obviously. And say musically, like Radiohead, just like the way their songs flow and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, probably like Cage the Elephant, the way they have such a variety of like.
The Strokes, maybe. Like,
Nah, not really.
Yeah, that's kind of what I try to.
It's my turn,
My
man.
bad.
Jeez.
You were saying Cage the Elephant. I was just like trying to think, you know,
There was this-
like 2000, like 2000.
Like Cage the Elephant, you know, because
Yeah.
they have such a wide variety
Yeah.
of different
Get that wrong.
songs. And, like, in the same way they build.
Well, okay, that brings me on to my next question, because I go into this every time that I'm in charge or like involved in some interview.
Yeah.
Instrument wise, you guys have like a really unique arsenal of instruments that I've never seen. So I'm just gonna.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'll go down the line, but I'll go out of order. So like, Danny, you're a Les Paul guy. Why is that?
I don't know. Well, you want me to tell the truth?
Not that truth.
Oh.
When I was a little kid. No,
Okay.
no, no,
Not that
no,
far
no,
back,
no,
dude.
for real. When I was like, maybe like, when I was a little kid, I remember my dad would always like listen to like Guns N' Roses, and I guess that's kind of like the first like with Slash, I thought his Les Paul was cool, and I kind of just grew up around that.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty basic, I guess, but I mean that's just what it was. And then when I was like in my, I had a guitar when I was like about 10, but I didn't buy a Les Paul till I was like 15 when I started working. And then I bought an Epiphone. It's pretty sick. I mean, I still use that. Though I still use it, so. And then I bought yours, so.
Yeah.
You know, it just happened to go like that, so.
So for people that aren't like big guitar nerds, what's the big quality difference between Gibson and Epiphone? Why would I want a Gibson over an Epiphone?
I'm going to be honest. My Gibson, I kind of like playing that a little more than, or my Epiphone, yeah, I like it a little more than my Gibson. Just, I don't know. I like the feel of it more. I don't know if it's because I have a different like emotional connection to it or anything, but I can see why people like Gibsons a lot because, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just the playability of it. It just feels nicer.
A lot of people like how smooth
The
the
quality.
Epiphones play for the price too. You know.
Yeah, it depends.
Fair enough.
I just like the humbuckers. That's why I like Les Pauls too.
They do
that.
get a nice.
I like that
big
beefy.
sound.
Yeah, I like that beefy
Yeah.
tone. So.
And then Connor, what is your kit? I've never asked
So-
you about your kit.
Let me think. It's Josh's kit. And what is it? It's just like a bare bones Ludwig. Like
It's
it's
like just a jazzy made.
it's got it's a virgin kick drum, so there's no holes in the kit. So the tom is on its own stand. But I have it like I really do have it like arranged for jazz because that's what like that's really what I enjoy playing. I have the ride cymbal in the middle, easy to reach, and then I got the crashes over here. I just got a splash. That's actually really fun to play around with, but. I know everything's really close together. It's really just really basic. Like it's like the last thing that you'd expect, like kind of heavier music to be played on. Like the tom heads. Those are just like this, like literally the stock heads, like the weather whatever ones that Ludwig made. Yeah, and then the snare is like funny story with the snare. It was like my middle school snare that I played in like 5th grade middle school band, and I had it, and then I just like. I got a nice Bremo head for it, and then the resonance head. I forgot what I put on it, but it's mismatched, so I could get like a nice like queen. I used to be like, I really like jazz, and I also used to be like really into hardcore at one point. So I wanted like that like kickball snare sound, but it doesn't really work for our sound, so I had to like tune it down. Yeah, the ride cymbal was from a pawn shop, so like basically everything that I play is like secondhand. I think the only thing new on that kit is the splash.
The kit was new, the shell.
Oh, the shell were new, yeah. So, yeah, and the ride isn't actually a ride; it's a crash ride that that I put tape on to cut the decay a little bit. So, but I like the crash ride because the bell just really cuts out through the band. When a normal ride, the bell's a little more dull. So yeah, I like it. I kind of just like made it my own. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you take after any like your favorite drummers, like stick wise, or you like a?
So, I mean, I should have said this with my favorite drummer, but like Joe Murillo from the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Oh my gosh, can't talk. You know, Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, the Jazz Greats. They all use like 7A, 5As, stuff like that. So that's what I usually use, a 7A or a 5A, but usually 5A. But if I'm playing something a little lighter, a little more jazzy, I'll go for a 7A. But nylon tips too, because Steve Lamos from American Football uses nylon tips, and he does a lot of like articulations on the cymbals. He adds a lot of color just playing other cymbals, and that nylon tip just like really brings out the color of the cymbal more than just a wooden tip. So yeah, that's kind of where to get that from.
Do you think as a drummer though that you lose some tone using a nylon tip on the drums?
Yeah, a little bit. I do think like the snare and tom, stuff like that. I think you can like you said, lose a little bit of tone. I mean, overall, it's not super noticeable. The hi-hat, you get a really like a lot more crisp sound on the hi-hat, but sometimes it can be a little too much treble in the mix with the nylon sticks. But I still prefer it. That's still my preferred. ProMark 5A nylons is kind of what I've adapted to. So I used to use 5A Extremes. You probably remember I used to buy them when you were working, but they're just way too long, and I've like kind of grown out of them a little bit. So as I've gotten a little more more tasteful with my playing. So
Fair enough.
Mhm.
So Jose, you've got this like weird Japanese bass. It looks like it's a short scale bass. Do you own this bass?
No, it's actually a loan from Josh.
Another one.
as everything is,
Everything's a loan from Josh. Everything we own is Josh.
When you're low skill in the band, you just gotta own all the equipment that can
Yeah.
get you out.
Well,
Funny thing, the only thing I own from that bass would be the strap.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I think it should have been said earlier. Josh's house is home base.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
practice at Josh's house. Everything's at Josh's house. We keep the kit there. Like Josh's house is home base. So if we ever talked about it, like that's probably why.
Yeah.
We get fed at Josh's house.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the bass, we bought it from the guy that like all three of us took lessons from,
Yeah.
Not me. Yeah.
and not him.
Yeah.
And so this this guy, I'm not gonna name names, but he
Boomhauer.
got a.
That's so crazy.
I think he's like Boomhauer, so I think that's what we'll just call him for the rest of the interview.
So,
Whoa.
if he's watching this, no offense, I'm sorry.
Boomhauer.
We love
If
you.
Boomhauer,
We love you. We love you.
we love you, Boomhauer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we bought this from him, and so he bought this back in like 2004 for his now ex-wife to play on.
Oh.
His ex-wife. We'll plug his ex-wife because that's what we named the bass after.
Yeah.
Trina.
Yeah.
That's
I did
that's
not
what
know
the
that.
bass's name
Yeah.
is Trina.
Well, way to draw
Yeah.
his name.
Is it Trina or Katrina?
It's Trina.
Huh.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what the bass
Yeah,
is
that
named
bass
after.
has some-
And so
some lore.
basically, I traded this guy a guitar I got for free for my birthday, like when I was like in the 3rd grade. And so we got that bass for basically free. It's just some old Japanese thing. It's annotated. It plays pretty nice.
Yeah,
we
it-
got it for free.
Yeah, it has a
name's
good feel
Trina.
to it.
The pickup used to be
Yeah.
loose, and it used to
Yeah.
make
He
this-
has he has beef with that bass.
Yeah,
He's the only one that doesn't
If
play it,
you-
and he's always complaining about
Well,
it.
if you find videos from like I think our first Leader Cran's performance, Jose was playing the bass and the pickup was loose.
Okay, yeah, the spring,
And
like,
he
if you
used
know
to-
anything about guitars, the
Yeah.
spring was out, and so it was, like, flopping
and
around.
Jose would hit the pickup and it'd go like boom, 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 boom.
So you had a weird encounter with our bass player for Marion Gunn and the Wanted Ones. He tried to buy your bass, right?
Yes, he did. He tried to buy it from me like 3 times. When we played together, and I was like, dude, I
remember
need
that.
this bass. It's the only bass I have.
I mean, the other bass we have is
Didn't he
Days,
offer a
but-
trade?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, man,
I still need
I
to
like
give
this
that bass
bass.
back.
I know you're still making my
So,
favorite.
yeah, so Cliff's like this collector of weird basses. Like he's got a Hofner, he's got a Dean resonator, he's got a bunch of stuff, and he really likes those old Tyscos, which is what that is, I think.
I think it's.
And so
I don't think we actually know, right? Do
it's
we?
that's
Just some
the old
unnamed
Japanese.
bass.
Yeah.
I guess I'm curious. I mean, I use my Jazzmaster for blues and country, but I mean, I noticed you have a Jazzmaster too, Josh. What attracted you to the Fender Jazzmaster?
So, I mean, it was kind of by coincidence, but I wouldn't choose a different guitar if I could. Because, okay, so at first I had a Jaguar, like these classic vibes. This is what we're talking about. I had a classic vibe Jaguar. I was like, okay, it's pretty good. And I got this classic vibe Jazzmaster. And I'm going to be honest, the Jaguar didn't feel very... The Jaguar felt way better than the Jazzmaster, but I liked the Jazzmaster's pickups. It went from like nice and chimey, stratty, but then he put distortion on it. It was just like that room, like it was just a nice, big, thick sound without being too much, like kind of like a Les Paul can be sometimes. And so I just upgraded to the American Vintage 2, and I modified it. It's got a stage trem on it, and I did some other stuff to it. But I just like the way it goes from clarity just to like, boom, it's like just room, you know? I think...
You guys should talk about pedal
like
boards.
that.
You and
No one literally just.
No one really
bought
cares
one.
I feel a lot of like if you talk
Basic.
equipment like a pedal board and amps, I feel like that's a pretty big.
I'll talk about
Almost everything owned by Josh, pretty much.
That's
all
my
you need
main
to know.
sounds. I use, it's a really cheap, it's called a Golden Plexi. They're like $60. They emulate like a Plexi stack, really nice. And then distortion, it's a 3 series JHS distortion, basically just a rat. Thing's great. Then I use like some other ambient stuff like from Chase Bliss Audio. Well, yeah, plug Chase Bliss Audio. You don't know them, check them out.
Is that
And
the
Walrus Audio, another great company. I got the Lore from them, and it's the Mood from Chase Bliss.
Yeah.
Great ambient pedals. And then it is Fractal Audio, I want to say. No, it is not Fractal. That's something totally different.
Fractal does have some cool pedals, though.
Yeah, that is not the same company, though. It's a different one, and I feel bad because they're a really good small company, and they have, like, this digital one. But all I use is, like, it's only from the start of the song called Accutane, and it's this lo-fi effect, and that's the only time I use it. But mainly, it's just drive, distortion.
I thought that was the mood pedal.
No, that's ambient.
Oh.
Yeah, and so then the amp I'm using is a great... we just waved to somebody out on the street.
So here's what's funny, folks, is they were actually waving to me after I came off a double shift over at the Toasted Goat. And speaking of which, I just want to go ahead and shout out the fact that the Toasted Goat won the Reader's Choice for Kearney 2025 for Best Deli Sandwich Shop. And the Golden Spoon Scoop Shop over by the railroad tracks won Best Ice Cream Shop for Best in Kearney Reader's Choice as well. I also want to shout out the fact that Art in the Park is happening July 12th here in Kearney, and I'm going to be helping Mr. Andy White and the Arts Council set that up and get that show running. That is July 12th. Also, be sure to see Mr. Andy White over at the Museum of Nebraska Art just across the street from the other side, and that is also known as Mona. There's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool stories, and a lot of cool pieces in there. In the meantime, we'll get back to this episode.
Wave to somebody out on the street. The amp, I probably got the heaviest. Do you think I have the heaviest rig in the state?
Now, I heard a rumor that it's unnecessary. I heard that you don't use your cabinet.
I use my cabinet. I plug it in. I just don't mic it up.
Okay.
That's just for me.
Well, the word on the street was wrong.
Word on the street
Word on
was
the
wrong.
Is that what I'm listening to? Is the
You're just hearing everything, dude. It's just
monitors?
crazy loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That amp
Do you
is-
think I have
hearing
the
is
heaviest rig
gone.
in the state? I mean, come on. It's a twin into a 2x15
I sit-
cabinet.
I think I should know that I sit like the back of this couch is like the amp, and like where I'm sitting is the throne.
Yeah, but that is a glorious amp.
Yeah.
65 issue twin reverb.
I mean, I can feel
into
it.
a vintage 2x15 cab. Dude, when you're on stage, dude, that thing is just like, you get to your side of the stage and you know, because it's just like, wham, the sound's just smacking you back. The whole stage is shaking. A stack is a different experience.
It
and
is.
I love it.
I have to tell him to turn it down in rehearsal sometimes because I
And
can't
I'm like,
hear
shut
it.
up, put in earplugs.
Yeah,
Dude, that sounds
no,
glorious.
no,
When you
sometimes
play,
I
you just hurry up.
sometimes I can't hear like my drums in rehearsal because it's like I can't hear what I'm playing on my drums, like an acoustic drum set, and I'm playing pretty loud. So
You only live once, you know. Play the big, heavy stack.
yeah,
there.
I've already my doctor's already told me my hearing's getting worse.
I could
so.
have told you that.
Yeah, I could have told you that too.
Yeah. What?
Huh?
What?
Well, so Danny, real quick, do you use any like strange, cool pedals on your rig?
You know, for the probably for like the first like 3 shows we had or 4, I was just borrowing his brother.
Yeah.
What was it?
My little brother's Diva Drive.
Yeah, that thing.
Those are okay.
Diva Drive, that's the road I live on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to hear his
that
address?
Yeah,
doubted
Diva
yourself there for a
Drive, that's
second,
funny.
And then I ended up buying like one of those Wazacraft overdrive pedals, like the Boss one.
Yeah.
And then I bought analog delay, and I just have a tuner pedal, and that's all I'm using right now. Yeah. I
Sometimes
just keep it simple. I just keep it simple. I'm gonna buy more just to like.
He's mainly on bass
Yeah,
though. If
both.
you don't know our band.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
half.
Half.
Yeah, these
Part-time
two
bass
switch
player.
back
switch
and
off.
forth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When Jose really needs to like get into the microphone, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes you need.
I like
both hands for the
bass,
mic.
man.
Yeah,
It's pretty
you
sick.
said that like
Bass can
this
be
week.
fun.
I know, I
was
did
gonna
that on
say
purpose.
Yeah, but as far as weird pedals, not really.
Bro, I'm already close enough. What do you want me to scream?
No, I'm just joshing.
Oh. So
he
it's like-
uses this joke a lot, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's like just joshing. That's his Instagram handle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Josh is on Instagram now, and that's it. That's
Yeah.
rough. So I guess you guys are multi-talented, musicians.
I'm not.
Do you guys switch in the studio? Like, do we get any like Connor on guitar in the studio?
No.
or anything
No.
like that?
Absolutely
We would never
not.
allow that.
No,
No,
I
we
am
can-
I am a campfire guitarist. Like
He gets on guitar and we're like, dude, practice is over, go home.
I'm a like a Bob Dylan cover guitarist. You know.
no,
like,
don't even give yourself credit for that. No, I'm just-
cover. Like
Dylan like that.
like I know in high school bands I've played bass guitar before for like a percussion ensemble piece a few times.
Yeah, well, that's high school.
And like that's like I think the only time I've performed with a guitar in my
Yeah,
hands,
I think
but-
in the studio, I think it's just me that I recorded the bass part and then just the lead part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar,
Fair
so
enough.
I think
Yeah.
that's just me.
I mean, I would like to get better at guitar so I can start doing solo stuff, like, but it's not like a priority or anything because I stick on the kit. But I know it's kind of been a discussion factor. I would like to have a mic, they all have mics.
We
I
would
don't.
get canceled if he had the mic.
Oh, not
Yeah.
for talking. I
Not
meant
have
for
mic.
but
Sorry.
I'd tone it down with the mic. I promise. I haven't said anything too offensive yet. You can cut that out. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
No, we gotta leave
He's
that
gonna
in.
leave that in.
We're gonna leave
That's
that
just
in.
factual.
We're gonna leave that in.
Maybe we should talk about the leader crans.
You guys
Yeah.
have played the leader crans like probably 4 or 5 times at least,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
I know me.
More, I think,
I've
now.
played with other groups
I've played
a few
5
times,
times
so
as well,
I've
yeah.
played
I
7
think
times.
we'd be probably
Nobody cares
the same.
Yeah, we're both at 4.
So
Yeah,
they
we're
played
both
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's like a home field advantage, It's like
It's a cool venue.
it's a cool venue, and it's nice that like huge shout out to Kieran, by the way, because like we will not be where we are now without Kieran. Getting us to the leader crans, I'm looking back, and that is a crazy venue for a band that's just starting out. Like that's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you look at Duffy's, which Duffy's is usually
Duffy's is sick.
Duffy's
Yeah,
is
it's
awesome,
yeah.
super sick venue, but Leader Krantz is like 3 times the size. You got that backstage lounge that
We
like,
definitely
glass
played our
bar
best show we ever played there, dude. I think the people counter was at
at
like
Duffy's.
100. No.
Oh,
it was
at Leader Krantz?
Liederkranz that third to last time, and I think there was
Oh,
like
January?
150 people that showed up.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
and it was
Right.
crazy hype. Not a single mistake in the whole set.
What was
Oh,
that?
wow.
February, January,
Yeah,
February
that
7th,
was
I
a good
think.
show.
Yeah, that
a good
was-
show.
That was an awesome show.
Yeah, that
was
I
a
hadn't
highlight.
debuted my giant sticks yet though.
Yeah, that would probably be
Yeah.
like our top.
I think Duffy's next.
Duffy's would be our
Duffy's,
next.
I honestly,
I like
them,
me
honestly.
personally, I think Duffy's we weren't
Not as many
tight,
people, but like. it was
but
a fun
oh
show.
my
Yeah,
gosh,
Yeah,
like
and like,
fine.
like the
even
crowd
like
we
the small
had-
mistakes. We had like some tuning issues and like my mic just like dying in the middle of like a song.
oh,
It
the
was so
mask.
great. It was
made
so
it
great.
authentic.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
We had a crowd of just like college students. It was like Duffy's like for anyone who doesn't know, you got the bar, then you got like a kind of walkway, then you got the tavern. And the tavern, like with 10, 15 people, it looks pretty full. So we probably had 10, 15 people, maybe actually probably more than that. And it was like there was a lot of energy in that room. Like it was awesome.
Good.
Felt really authentic. Like really like
They forced us to play an encore.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Josh was so against it.
I was trying to go home. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was
So-
worth it though.
Yeah, it was worth
Have
it.
you guys lived in Grand Island like your whole lives?
Yep.
Unfortunately,
Uh,
yes.
Unfortunately.
No,
yeah.
Ask him.
Oh, it's
Ask
dope.
him.
Okay,
Oh. This guy loves Guatemala.
Okay, here we go. All right, let's
And
relax.
before he talks, I think we should say that 90% of the songs he has written are about his time in Guatemala.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
No, that's not true.
That's
bro.
not true.
So we shouldn't listen.
We
to
know
your
the real reason. Like
No,
three of our
it's an inside
songs
joke.
are dedicated to someone.
Vegan
but-
girl.
Yeah,
Vegan girl.
Vegan girl.
And
Jose,
then-
tell a little bit about your background before I say.
Oh,
yeah.
Cut that out.
Wait. So what background are we talking about with the
Guatemala, bro.
Guatemala. Okay, so look, these guys always grow, and each time I'm like, well, I try to like say something like, oh, I did this over there, and they're like, oh.
Are you kidding me? Guatemala again? I haven't heard this.
In the
Bro,
mainland?
but, okay, it's not my fault. I lived there 6 years. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
It's just an inside joke.
Yeah, it's an inside joke that we have. But like, I was born here, I was raised here, but I left when I was 8 to live in another country, which was Guatemala. Unfortunately,
Would have never guessed.
yeah, no, and
tall.
yeah, most of my my music, like singing and stuff, just kind of came from there. So I kind of got more engrossed in music and
That's
stuff.
a big word.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Finger fingers.
and yeah, when I came back, I guess it just started to grow and grow more than when I started to meet these guys, you know, and it just, you know.
You already knew me.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
cousins,
already,
they're
I already know him.
cousins.
He kind of taught me a little bit more.
Josh and I are
together.
actually. Josh
But
and I are also
to be
cousins.
more specific, I think my music taste, like I discovered like indie when I was like in senior year. Well, no, not senior year. I'm like my high school, like you know.
That was like 10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ah,
I'm only
yeah.
20, bro. Yeah, or treat me like a grandpa.
That's another inside joke.
He's
He's the oldest, so
He's
we just.
unk.
And
Yeah.
Josh is like the youngest.
Yeah.
So sometimes like Josh would be like, when I was a kid, and Danny or I would be like, what, like yesterday? You know, it's like,
We're down the line, right, in order of age.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
almost 21.
20, I'm almost 20.
Almost
Well,
20.
19, I guess.
Yeah, I'm 19.
I'm 15.
15. Yeah, so it's like we
I was
gotta-
14 years old when we played our first gig.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I
in
uh,
middle school, hadn't stepped foot in the high school yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we touch on like how the whole thing happened?
No, tell us a little bit
It's
about
kind of
where
a boring
Frantic
story.
Youth
Yeah,
began.
they start because
Yeah.
I started after, so you guys
So
started.
I guess you
okay.
probably start this.
Yeah, so technically we're at a gathering, and I met Josh.
Oh, it was a gathering with what's his face?
Boomhauer.
Boomhauer. It was a
Yeah.
Boomhauer
Yeah.
gathering.
And- So he was pretty cool. He was the only other, kid that was like around my age, or so I thought.
So he.
Yeah.
So they all say.
So then I talked to him, and I'm like, "Oh man, we should jam out. We should, start a band. Like I've been kind of wanting."
Little did he know he was 18 at the time. I was 14 at the time.
Yeah, I would have been 18.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he
was
was
19.
graduated. I was in the 8th grade.
I was actually, I think I was 7.
You were 18.
You would have
You're
been
18.
17.
You're
I think I
18.
was 17
Yeah.
turning 18.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, man. Well, when I get a phone, I'll tell you." and then at first I was like, "Oh, maybe he broke his or something." But
Nah, bro, that was my
He
first
actually
phone.
had
Yeah, that was,
He bought a phone just to call this
it wasn't
guy.
until
Yeah.
later I found out that he's like 14. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
It was
to,
like 3 rehearsals in, and he's like, "Dude, what grade are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm in the 8th grade." And he's like,
We
"What?"
were about to.
What?
Yeah, he told us.
we had
That-
to teach
yeah.
him how to use like social media too.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
had
I
to
run the
graduate,
account, though,
bro.
so-
yeah, he runs the account.
Yeah.
If that solves any mystery, so
Yeah, if there's any.
Yeah.
But if anything like sketchy ever goes down, it's him. He ran it all along.
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, they all met at that kind of deal. They're
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
I actually knew Josh before I knew any of them, but so Josh and I did a summer camp years ago. Like
Like when I was in the 3rd grade.
he was in 3rd grade. I would have been in 7th or 8th grade, I think. And like it's this camp for like accelerated learners is what it's called. It's not.
Gifted kids.
Yeah, it's like one of those things.
Gifted
like
kids.
Like I was like a gifted kids, believe it or not.
You
so
see,
is
we got
Josh.
like a line here: gifted kids, and
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
a nice way of
Yeah,
saying something.
yeah. Anyways, like, Josh and I we had like the same homeroom in this summer camp, and like we like chopped it up, like we were cool.
yeah.
But yeah, I forgot all about him, and then, Danny.
He was cracked at. Where are we
Oh,
gonna?
yeah.
Dude was absolutely cracked at yo-yoing.
Still am.
And then so we had like 3 gigs. We're hanging out at Connor's house, and I see his yo-yo sitting on his dresser.
I
I'm
still have like a collection. Yeah.
And we'd like forgotten about C-Camp. We're like, dude, I used to know a kid that was cracked at yo-yo, and he's like, yeah, I was cracked at yo-yo, and I was like, yeah, you went to C-Camp, and he was like, I would, and like we figured it out.
Yeah,
we'd known each other
and
for
then
months.
his mom. I don't know if you're like inserting pictures or not, But if you are, yeah, let me know because his mom found an old yearbook picture, from that summer camp of us like together. Like there's like 3 pictures of us together, like we're hanging out and just like.
And there's one where nobody's looking, and it was like really bad quality in the yearbook because like they printed it on like photocopiers.
Yeah.
And so it's this really creepy picture of everybody like in a circle, and then me and Connor just like dead staring at the camera.
Yeah, we're like yeah. How I met Danny. I mean, I had heard of Danny from like mutual friends before, but he worked at the North Runza.
Legend in his time.
Yeah, he was just like Danny from North Runza before I met him. But anyways, he worked at North Runza. I worked at South Runza. It was like the Confederacy. I'm joking. But then there was like a time. There was a time during the state fair where me and this kid named Eli, we were supposed to wear the mascot, the Runza mascot, the Runza Reds mascot. In case you're not from Nebraska, anyways, Eli had like a football game or something like that. So like, okay, we're gonna see if there's like a kid from the North Store. So they got Danny. So Danny and I like didn't know each other that well. And like this suit is like ginormous. You can't see out of it. So like the person in the suit has to hold the other person's hand and leads them around. I didn't know this dude yet, so it was like, we got close pretty fast. And like every hour you have to change since the battery would die, and it was just like the suit would deflate. But yeah, it's like that whole day. It was like a 12-hour shift, time and a half. So I mean, we got money, we got fed, but we were just talking about like cars and music. At the time, he had a Toyota MR2 that I had seen around town, and I used to think
it's dead though.
Like I didn't know who drove it. But I used to like think that like it was awesome. Like I used to think that car was awesome. Like
he used to be cool.
It's alright, bro.
And I had a little
Sorry.
BMW Z3. So like I was like we were into like the like the intermediate car community or whatever.
You look like a Z3 guy.
Yeah, I had a Z3. It was really
Just
shitty,
a bunch of broke teenage cars.
But yeah, so like I was like, oh shoot, that's your car. Like I've seen it around. So yeah, we got to know each other. Then like I just like.
This is the longest way you could possibly tell the story.
Yeah, but then for like the next 2 years, like it was just like we liked each other's Instagram posts and like didn't talk. But then
how sweet.
But then like he just hit me up out of the blue.
Then
like,
he slides up into Connor's
okay,
DMs.
let me talk. He just slides.
Yeah, the whole time.
He just slides up out of the blue. He's like, "Yo, you play drums, right?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Well, my band like really needs a drummer," and I was under the impression I was just gonna sit in. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. I show up, and then we play Yellow Ledbetter. Because that was like the song we like warmed up on.
That's how.
And Jose, and then this is how I knew that I was in the band. Jose goes, "Dude, you saved us. You're the best drummer ever." And I was like,
no exaggeration.
No. I just said you were good.
No, and he went in for a hug. Yeah, and I was like I knew Danny. And like I kind of like in the back of my head I knew Josh. I just couldn't put the pieces together. So I was like looking at Danny like, who the hell is this guy? And like that's when I knew. I was like, oh shit, like I'm in this for the long haul. Like this, like I'm actually in this band. And it was cool. And then like after that we ate outside, and like that was cool. So like yeah, you can go back. Like actually I'll tell it. So Josh's dad. It's like a big deal. Like we all kind of bond over it. But Josh's dad like loves to cook.
He's a good cook, by the way. He's
awesome,
a really good cook.
Amazing cook.
Yeah.
Shout out to AJ. Some of the best food I ever had. But he'll cook food, and then we'll all just sit around. We used to go outside, but then the winter
we're
we go
outside now.
Yeah, we're outside.
Yeah, we
now.
still go
Good
outside.
season.
We just go outside and we talk, and like that's where like the real like the chemistry with all of us happened. Like like you hear the music and you hear how like well our parts work together, but I think a lot of it is just I think a lot of it is just from us like knowing each other and knowing how we work. So like I can look at Jose and Danny and Josh and like just by the look of their face I know like what they're about to play. It's like because I know how they are as people. So yeah,
I can look at Connor and be like, yep, this is about to be Buns.
Yeah. If I'm looking up in the air and playing, I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, personally, it takes forever, to really know anything about someone.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that you know a lot more, or just a little bit more about each other after all this?
Oh,
time?
we know a lot. I feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean,
we
well, technically we're cousins.
considering
so we
considering
know
how
a little
long we've been a group, I feel like we have just like insane chemistry.
I mean, like I haven't known Connor for a year, but like we're like.
more. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this point we just kind of know.
Yeah.
It's
a
just
little bit
weird.
a lot
Like
about each
it was
other.
literally like the first time I got to rehearsal. It was like we had chemistry. Like Danny and I were like when Jose was like meat riding me. Danny and I were like, what the hell?
That's
like,
crazy.
like it was like
Nah.
no offense,
I'll
Jose.
get that secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no hate to Jose on that. Just like that's awesome, and I'm really glad you're
Jose's
passionate about
kind
it.
of the scapegoat of the group. We've
Yeah.
thrown all the jokes in.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, we were like,
'Cause,
we were
like-
looking for a drummer, and we were not having
Yeah,
any luck.
you
So
know,
this guy was
as a lead singer, like a lot of lead singers get all high and mighty, so we just gotta keep Jose off his high horse. And make sure
I've never been on a high horse though.
Yeah,
That's
so-
the worst.
We
thing.
He's the nicest
knock
guy
you off
ever.
real
Yeah.
fast.
He's the
Yeah.
nicest guy ever.
Yeah, Jose is probably
The nicest
probably
guy.
the nicest guy ever.
All three
like,
of us
yeah.
are haters, and then Jose just has to compensate
Yeah.
for all three of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, that's me. A nice guy.
hmm
I'll let him know.
nice guys. No.
And he's single, so.
Okay.
You know what they say about nice guys?
Single and ready to mingle, ladies.
Yeah.
Hit us up in the DMs, and we'll give you his phone number.
And he's almost 21,
He'll
so
be 21 in
Oh
a
my
week.
God.
Hit us up in the DMs,
He's
and we
very
will give you his
responsible.
phone number. Any women looking.
Yeah.
She ain't a lady if she ain't 380.
yeah,
Doing a
yeah,
band though, you guys are all working though, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just go down the line. You can.
All right, what are you doing right now, Jose? What are you doing with your life?
Well, I work at Home Depot.
Sorry.
Surprise.
On Depot.
Are you a forklift driver?
Yeah, I'm forklift certified.
Good.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't run anybody over yet, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not stepping foot in that one.
Yeah.
I don't go there for
I'm actually a better forklift driver than I am a driver, which is crazy.
That ain't a very high bar.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a pro lot loader, so I help people load stuff. I bring in the carts in.
Drop your load.
That's crazy. Yeah, not to like brag or anything, but even the bosses say that I have like the shittiest and hardest job there, and
Yeah.
I get praised a lot from there.
He's a lot of attention.
Are they stand
Blue
up or
collar-
sit down
blue collar
forklifts?
dad?
Because there is, a difference in the driving.
I mean,
We're
it's
getting
like,
into it.
yeah, he really wants to know. Well, firstly, like you do like a test and stuff.
Ladies,
know?
you hear that? He's forklift certified.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know what?
No, but first you gotta do like a test, like an online test. Then you do like your practical. They teach you and stuff, and you have to like go at it, just with just seeing and stuff.
I have my fishing permit. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You just gotta pray to God and pray that you do well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Danny?
What's a JOB? I know you didn't just say that. Nah, I'm just kidding.
What?
A J word?
The J word?
Don't
Yeah,
say the
can't
J
say
word
that.
around us, man.
Yeah. I'm a manager at Pavement Pantry, and I hate my job. And I'm serious, so if any of my managers saying this, I hate my
Fire
job.
him. Yeah, please fire him. Like,
Yeah, please.
They schedule him like
yeah.
crazy.
Like
Yeah.
I worked a 13-hour shift today, and tomorrow I gotta do a 12-hour shift. And then
If we're ever
Thursday-
missing a basis to have a sit-in, it's because of this place right here. It's
Yeah.
not because of
I'll
this
be
show.
honest, it's pretty cool.
Bro just contradicting himself.
But
Okay, Kanye.
but it's alright, I guess. I'm looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hire him.
And I'll
Yeah.
send out.
If any employers are looking for
Yeah,
We're
he's
just
an awesome.
pitching
He's an
people.
awesome worker.
He's an
Yeah,
awesome
I'm
worker. Yeah.
I'm slaving away right now.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Hire him.
Cancel me, but y'all
Hire-
can't afford him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a lifeguard.
You hear that, ladies? And he's single.
I've been a lifeguard at every pool in town except Riverside. But I'm working. I'm lifeguarding at the Y and then Capitol Heights, and I do swim lessons. So if you got kids, I can teach them how to swim. Yeah, I'm not passionate about it. I just do it because I started doing it when I was like 16, and it's an easy job to get every summer. So
Does it encompass like lifeguarding and stuff like that too in your lessons, or just like 1 through 6?
1 through 6. Yeah, how do you know? Like, yeah, you're like, you seem
He
seem
knows
to
it
know
all.
about swim lessons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
He's
I actually, if you really want to know, I
forklift
teach
driving.
high level swim lessons because I'm a skilled swimmer. So
Yeah.
That's why everyone's been drowning lately.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not funny.
Saving lives.
See, hater, bro.
I know it, dude. Thanks, Connor. Josh, what are you doing?
I'm
man?
like a janitor. Like I clean a business. I'm not gonna plug the business. It's just a
Boomhauer.
random. Don't plug Boomhauer.
Don't
Don't bring Boomhauer into this.
I think all of us at one point, except for Connor,
have worked.
Yeah, I
for
have worked
Has
for
done that, yeah.
Boomhauer.
Yeah, for Boomhauer.
Janitorial.
I
So
think-
yeah, I mop floors, vacuum stuff, clean toilets. It's not. It pays good.
Yeah.
Pays good.
Weird hours.
Weird hours.
Totally legal hours.
Oh, though, talked about the.
Look,
Yeah.
okay, there's a building that that's kind of
That's
old.
haunted.
Yes.
Okay, so we have this story on stage, and like the story is real. Like when we exaggerated a bit, like we're like Epstein's ghost or Diddy's
Oh my
ghost,
God.
or
But
like
what song is it about? He does.
it's about backroom
He
daydreams.
mostly
Yeah.
says that. He mostly says that.
And so like we'll exaggerate, but we are like
100% sure
we're
there
not
was a
messing
ghost
with anybody. Like we seriously think the building's haunted. Like we
Yeah.
all three
We were
have worked
hearing
in the
stuff.
building. We've
Yeah.
all had
I've
like
been in the
similar
building.
experiences.
there. And
I
you know
went
what's
in the
funny about
building
this?
with
Is, like,
Josh,
this
and
guy
it was-
wanted to bring a Ouija board there.
Yeah.
They
It's
wouldn't
like,
because they're
yeah.
wimps.
No.
I went in the building with Josh one time. Like I was waiting for him to get done with work since I was giving him a ride, and Josh was like, "Just wait here while you clean, or while I clean." And he still had like 30 minutes of cleaning left to do. And I was sitting in this old boardroom or meeting room or something like that, where like President Nixon?
Nah, it was like Clinton. There's like a pedestal.
Yeah, or
that-
something like
or
that.
something,
And I was just sitting there by myself, like, I was like too scared to go on my phone. I was like, "What is this place?" I go on my phone for a little bit, and I swear to God, out of the corner of my eye, something flies by, and I look up, and there's nothing there. So
Yeah.
No, dude, it's like
Yeah.
actually freaky.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
all
like,
three of
yeah.
us and other people we've talked to have had similar experiences. So-
Individual experiences too.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're all
Visual-
hanging
They're
out.
all
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, it's like
and like they all like.
But the thing is,
me
we've
and
all seen the same like.
Yeah.
the
like-
same girl.
Yeah.
Bro. It's
Yeah.
this girl in a wedding dress.
yeah, it's just it's like a white blur like that flows like fabric.
Yes,
at the corner
like-
of your eye.
I remember vacuuming that place,
man, it's-
and like I would hear like a woman like cry.
Yes, dude, you
Yeah.
hear stuff.
Oh
you
my
hear
God.
you hear someone
Earbuds,
crying
bro.
through the earbuds. Yeah, and I'm just like, did I take my meds?
No, we are not messing like.
Yeah.
I thought they
You're
were
serious.
until I showed up and Josh left me alone for 30 minutes. I literally, like, after that happened, I walked and I looked for Josh. I remember I scared Josh because he was, like, cleaning with headphones in. It's like, Josh, I'm scared, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it was like...
But anyway, so we went down there
Yeah.
in the basement at like it was like from like 11 o'clock to like 2 o'clock in the morning in the morning in the basement. We turned off all the lights, and Connor wasn't there because he wasn't in the band at the time. And we're like, okay, we all know this place is probably haunted. We're gonna write some.
Yeah, we need to
songs
come
down.
with
We're
a
gonna
banger.
cook something
Yeah,
up. We bring
yeah.
guitars and stuff down there, and we cooked up Backroom Daydream, and I'm that was probably the scaredest I have ever been. I mean, like I was shaking the entire time. I mean, like the original version of the song was probably 16 minutes long, but I think it's because we were all too scared to stop making noise.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we
I'm
just-
Right,
serious.
like
It
that.
just kept going on.
like halfway through, we'd be like, shh.
Yeah, I still think
Yeah.
that's one of, if not our longest song, right?
Dude, and we cut it down to like
We've-
4
we've-
minutes,
yeah,
but
we've
like
cut it
the
down.
original
Yeah.
version is like 16 minutes
Well,
long.
now that we got that overdrive part, it's probably closer to 5, I think.
Now for
No,
like
it's-
imagery too, was it a pretty like reverbial room? Was there like a lot of
Yes, it
echo?
Yeah.
was. That's
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, no wonder you didn't stop. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to hear all that.
Yeah, no.
dude, no, but like that place is.
So you guys just recently released "Dirty Pavement."
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the song. What was so hard about just putting a new tip on your pressure washer and cleaning it off?
I've never heard that before. That's
Me neither.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
It wasn't my best, but like
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
like,
like
you
that.
know,
That was
I
good.
thought about this earlier. I
That's
think
good.
that-
That's
good.
good. I
That's
might
good. I
throw
like
that
that.
around. I might steal that.
Oh, thank you.
For me, that song was like a song that they had already
Oh.
written, and they're like, "Connor, just play something to it." So like, I was just playing something really boring that I came up with this feel, God, like that at the beginning, but for whatever reason in the studio, like take after take after take, I was losing time on the fill. So, like, I don't know. I simplified a lot, and you'll hear me do it live, but I actually don't do it like in the recording. But like, I do like a double beat on the ride, during like the chorus. But like, I just I'll say it too. Like a lot of the songs that they wrote without me, like I was kind of like left stranded. So like, I don't. Dirty Pavement was like the first one that comes to mind for that.
I just wanted to know if you want to like hear the story, like why it was like you know.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so like well the song, the lyrics pretty much, or I guess. That's crazy. No, it's just
After he yapped for like 30 minutes
I'm
about
joking.
no, it's gonna be quick. It's like,
Wow.
well, I mean, the song mostly about is just like, just about like a whole like thing about like.
Just shitting on
Sometimes
the
we.
pavement.
Bro, let me finish. Let me finish. No, but like the song is just more of like how we all have like a mask. We just like we all pretend to be something that we're usually not. Mostly like in high school, we sometimes just act a different way that we usually act with like in our house or with different people. So mostly it's just like a song with, like saying that it's not bad to be yourself. Most of the time, and you should probably stop lying to yourself and just be you.
So I actually don't know this. Why is it called Dirty Pavement?
I just
Well,
made up
because
something.
why is that?
Yeah.
There's no backstory behind it. I just came up with it.
He
and I was
said,
like,
well, see, the thing is, when the song, the name of the songs aren't really like related.
We got a
titles
song
aren't
called
related to the song.
Accutane because like I had a dermatologist appointment that day, and I didn't even get prescribed Accutane. It was just like I had a dermatologist appointment, and that reminded me of Accutane.
Yeah.
So I just called it Accutane, and then Jose like came up with some elaborate thing. It was like, yeah, because like people still don't see you clearly, or I don't know, but
no, it's because Accutane like clears your acne, but it's like makes you like
Yeah,
more
it's
depressed.
like, yeah.
oh yeah,
Your
something
side
like
effects,
that.
yeah.
But
something
yeah,
like that. No, but like what we say, like most of it, like the name of the song is just kind of don't,
Some of them do.
Some of them, are, but like some of them aren't. You know what I mean?
Don't ever let this man name a song though. Like, it's not good. It's
Danny.
not pretty.
We got a song called Danny's Song, and
Because
it's
I never
like,
came
and
up
it's
with a
literally
title
like
for it.
our best song, and it's just called Danny's Song. So we might just keep it. But like, I think Gone Girl's the only song that will be on our EP. We're like the name.
Gone Girl has nothing to do with the movie or the books at all.
Yeah.
It's completely unrelated. We didn't realize what the movie was about until after we like named the song.
Yeah, but if you
okay?
listen to the song, it's it's actually about like losing a girl that you were,
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with what
Yeah.
happens after you lose that
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Actually, Gone Girl is actually
Two
also
different
another song-
things.
Yeah, Gone Girl is actually another song dedicated to being a girl too. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably like my favorite
Mhm.
song out of that.
Out of the EP.
I
Yeah.
do not like playing that
Yeah.
song.
I love
that song's
Gone
fun.
Girl.
yeah, I like
That's
this song.
like I think Danny actually. So I want to say there's like one
Danny
or
had
two
nothing
songs.
to do with Gone Girl.
No,
Me and Jose loved
no.
that song.
Danny
Oh, the
actually,
drum part.
yeah, Dan,
Oh, yeah, he did.
Danny, so there's a few songs where Danny actually wrote the drum parts for it. Like
Like
Gone
in-
Girl has the no has a measure of 2/4, and when we were like the first rehearsal, they're trying to teach it to me, and Danny was like, no, like I came up with a part to it, and so it was pretty cool, and I actually. Obviously I kept it, and I actually really liked it. So good job, Danny. It was a good part.
And then, yeah, I mean, apart from that, the solos, but
The the solos are pretty
Yeah.
memorable.
Yeah, but going back to Dirty Pavement, it was just like
What more is there to say about it?
yeah, it's pretty
It's
much
pretty.
like,
It's a pretty simple song. Like
Yeah.
it starts and it ends. Honestly,
Yeah.
like it's just
starts
a,
and ends. Yeah,
it's just an easy listening song, which is
Yeah.
another reason why we
Yeah.
picked it.
show up and play bass.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just like everything goes on and everything.
Some
ends.
of our songs have like big deep stories to them, or some
Yeah.
of them are just about random stuff.
Yeah, Danny's
not
song,
not just like random stuff like how
More
some
like-
punk
more like
bands
a
write
feeling,
random
kinda
stuff,
like
but
a
like
feeling
they're
kind of
still about something, but they're
Yeah.
not like real deep about one specific.
Yeah,
thing.
like Danny's song. Like I'm not gonna like talk on it for him, but it's like I think it's like our only like really
Kind
like our only like truly really meaningful song.
maybe for you.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I think the other ones are a little more like surface level meaning.
No, me for Backroom Daydream.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we kind
Apart
of
from
talked about
that,
that.
Yeah.
But I think everything other than those two songs are very surface level, like
Not
with
really.
the writing. So
You just don't understand.
if I don't
Technically,
understand,
none of us
them-
understood them.
Yeah, that's why it's surface
Until
level.
we started reading Jose's
Yeah,
lyrics, we're like, what's he talking about?
that's why it's really surface level. Because
Maybe I'm trying to say this so we look more sophisticated. And it's like, yeah, we just threw some stuff together,
yeah.
bro.
that makes us DIY and indie though. You know.
No, it is not, bro.
Doesn't
Look at the Arctic Monkeys. Their songs are stupid deep. You didn't know what, but then again,
Yeah.
you didn't know what 505 was about.
I thought it was
explained to them
okay.
what 505
I thought
was about.
505 was an area code.
No, it's a hotel
Bruh.
room.
Yeah,
Oh
so I
my
thought it was like going back to
God.
like if I was saying I'm going back.
So
to
don't
the
take
308.
any advice from him for
Yeah.
lyrics because
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
It has to be Midwest emo. It has to be like,
I mean-
my girl left me and I like to sit down when I pee, but it doesn't make me a man when I sit down and pee.
That's
No,
crazy. Like-
I know.
I
Yeah,
No,
yeah
I will
that sounds
admit,
like some like modern baseball.
no, that's crazy. No, but I will admit some of the early lyrics that we have from that I wrote, I could have like done a little bit better, but now I've like
he's good now.
I've evolved.
Yeah, honestly, Jose's like earlier songs is more like showing off his singing, less the lyrics, and he's kind of like going the other way. But I like when Jose shows off his singing. He's got a really good voice, so it's like
we just started trying to have fun. So I
Yeah.
guess that's why we were just like,
but now we've
I was like, all right,
yeah.
it's really awesome that
still have
our
fun.
sound's evolving. It's like, we got our older feel good songs, and now we're kind of like, well, Danny has a really depressing job. I'm about to go to the military. Jose's almost 21. Josh is just a kid still. So it's like, we're all depressed. So it's like our music just starting to reflect it just a little bit. Not depressed. We're all like changing and moving on through
we all
life.
got our own
So it's
stuff
like,
going on.
so our music's starting to reflect it. So.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere I wanted to touch on earlier for you guys is since you guys have been in Grand Island for a long time, at least, what's it like? I mean, I know places like Bandits and like the filling station, I think, were doing music before, but what's it like now that you have like an official like
With the
all
Leader
the
Crans?
time music venue with like the Leader Crans? How has that changed your perspective on Grand Island as a town? Because I used to live there too, and it was always just boring old Grand
You know,
Island.
I'm gonna say something first before Connor goes on for another hour.
Yeah. Take the stage. Before
It's
Connor does.
nice, but to be honest, like, it's really nice, but it's not something like Omaha. It's still
You
like,
can only do so much, is what we were saying.
yeah, and
Yeah.
to be honest, like, there needs to be more bands. Like, we have the venue, but we don't have the bands.
And the problem is none of the bands, like, I'm here in Kearney, like, the college is right there. And you got kids from the college, and it's like, but Grand Island's just a working class town. People go to work, people go home. No one's really about, like, entertainment in Grand Island.
Yeah.
So, it's just not, like, a big push for it. No bands from the Metro or Kearney ever want to play in Grand Island. So,
Yeah.
it's tough. Kieran's doing an awesome job. Huge shout out to Kieran. But with a town like Grand Island, getting something out of nothing takes like a lot. I mean, it's like he's been trying, and he's been doing it for like a year now, and it's like, I mean, he's gotten a ball rolling, but right now it's just like the beginning.
Like it's nice, but to be honest, like it's definitely still not a music town.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of-
I mean, Grand Island's
not
not yet.
around it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Grand Island's growing, and more young people are starting to move in Grand Island. More, I guess, hipsters.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Danny? I think your perspective is a little different. You don't really go to the Leader Cran shows. Like, I pull up to some.
Yeah, but well, it's kind of the same. I just
A lot of older
I like
acts.
that we're involved in it
Yeah.
a lot because you got to meet a lot of cool people and like hopefully like inspire other people to do the same thing. Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's about music.
Yeah,
so-
we've kind of garnered our own little groupie at the Leader Crans. Every time we play at the Leader Crans, we've got a group of.
I don't think you know what groupie means.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
We do not have any groupies.
Okay, cut that.
We're looking for
No,
some.
leave
have-
that in.
Okay, so
we have a small
at
group of-
Duffy's
like,
we had a
yeah.
groupie.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What?
Brother.
We need elaboration of
Yeah,
that.
dude.
anyways, I did. Anyways,
Bruh.
because we've been playing the Leader Crans for like almost a year now. I guess I just rounded, but we've got like our own like kind of garnered fan base. Like we've like I went to Walmart one time and I saw someone with a Frantic Youth shirt. A Frantic Youth shirt that I didn't even like. I didn't even know who it was. So it's like,
Yeah.
It's probably my mom.
I mean, no, I know who it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, but it's pretty cool. Like we've got like the same crowd comes out and supports us.
When we get some
it's
new crowd
cool.
too,
Like
man.
I've met people like because they're like, oh my god, you're the drummer from Frantic Youth.
No
I'm
one's
like,
saying that, bro.
I feel like people in Grand Island just like think way more highly of us just because there's no music scene.
Yeah, I will say we have a
Yeah.
lot of people supporting us, and
Yeah,
we
there you
obviously
go.
appreciate that.
I
a
just didn't
lot.
know
Yeah,
how to
let
word
Danny
it.
talk, bro.
I didn't know how to word it.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that support us, and we appreciate it a lot. And we would do the same for anyone else in Grand Island that would like, you know what I mean? Like we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just gotta make our own.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Make do what we have. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys, I mean, Grand Island's worked out great, but I mean, what's it like breaking into the Lincoln music scene?
Whoa. I mean, playing where Nirvana first played in is.
Well,
is
it's not where they first played.
well, well, I mean, playing where Nirvana played, I
Yeah.
guess if you want to do it, it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got something to, I got something to brag about, you know. It's like, oh, I played at this place where, this famous band played.
It's a different monster with the metro area because they actually have like there's like actually kids like us like in Grand Island
quite a
we're,
bit of them too.
yeah in Grand Island we're kind of like our own little thing, but in Lincoln and Omaha like it's a whole like subgenre of teenagers like kids in indie bands and kids in Midwest emo bands like. So it's not like I'm not saying it's competitive, but like it definitely is way harder to like get out in Lincoln and Omaha, and especially from Grand Island, like Grand what? Like, they don't they think like we don't exist.
Grand Motel. What Grand Motel?
Yeah,
Good
Grand
band.
Motel.
Good band.
Grand Motel, no relation to Grand Island or like Motel 8, but they're awesome. Yeah, some good friends of ours.
Yep.
But Lincoln definitely was just a step above, I guess you want to call it.
A cool experience.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a
fun.
good time.
It was nice having
Bro,
music.
let that man
crowd.
talk, bro.
Sorry.
No, yeah, it was like
Yeah,
it was different, and it was nice.
different crowd.
It was a
That's
good
what I was
crowd.
trying to say, yeah.
We got a lot of fun though.
Huge shout out to Boy Seeking Band.
Yeah.
But actually,
Nathan.
Nathan, yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that dude was awesome.
Yeah.
Super, just full of charisma, just
Yeah.
awesome music.
We're going to be working with him.
The other band was really good.
Yeah, another band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, the album's gonna come out and the EP's on its way. Are there any any hidden gems, any secrets that you guys can spill?
okay.
Secret Studios.
Oh my god.
Actually, okay, I've got a few things to touch on before Yatmaster 9000 goes out. I just I love you, Connor.
I'm gonna get that wrong.
So we're actually, I think we're actually going to start working in our home studio just for the fact of we can really do. And no, okay, now nothing on Morgan. We love Morgan. We love working with him. Really good price, but we are we're flat broke right now.
Yeah.
And so if we do it in our home though, we can do whatever we want. I mean, we can if it takes us a day to get a good take, it takes us a day. And so we're going to do that. And then I've
if we wanted to sound like shit, we can make it sound like shit for free.
Yeah.
So that was the really crass version of it because Morgan is awesome and it sounds awesome, but we kind of want to have a little more like bedroom indie kind of a bunch of teenagers doing it themselves kind of
A
deal.
little more raw of a sound.
Yeah, a little more raw.
Morgan definitely puts that really professional.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
really knows how to.
No, and
polish a
his
song.
master is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
His mastering was just
Yeah.
it was so clean, but like we said, we kind of want it to be just a little shitty, just to add a little charm.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it's a weird way to put it, but
And it makes sense though. So do you guys have any upcoming shows in the works?
we're gonna go to the Winchesters and Phillips. We'll be up at
shout out to
Lake.
Winchester's.
Hell yeah.
Shout out
Plug.
to Winchesters.
My aunt runs the place.
First
They
show
only
we'll
have one
play.
bar in Phillips, right?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
we'll be
Okay,
playing
I've been
it
to
on the
it.
train.
Yeah, so it is
Oh,
the
yeah.
bar in Phillips, Nebraska. So it's in between Grand Island and Aurora. It's awesome. My
We
aunt
got an
runs it.
upcoming show, another show at Duffy's with Infielder and Joy Rager, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
and
that's
we're
gonna be
playing
good,
at the Sherman Marina.
Yeah,
We'll play the lake will be our backdrop. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
stoked for the pictures.
There's going to be the Great
Yeah.
Disappointments will be with us one of those times, so that's going to be a good show. Yeah,
Shout out to
to Great
Shout out to
Disappointments.
Shout out to the
Disappointments.
disappointments. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're also have our physical release party on August 30th, and so we're gonna have our vinyl and our CDs for sale. We're gonna have all of our friends' bands playing a 20-minute long festival style set, and so we'll probably go on for quite a bit because Kieran basically just gave us the reins, and so any band that we like that we want to play, that we personally know, we're gonna have them on there, and we're just gonna have a banging bill of just 20-minute long sets. And then we're going to play for an hour. We're going to play everything on the new EP besides the one song we all hate.
Yeah, everyone cross your fingers if you're watching that Here GI gets back to us.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask if you guys made here.
we would love to play
No, there was
Here
already an
GI,
announcement saying that their first.
but they're
Didn't they already start?
I think they're
No, the 27th.
I think they're
June 27th.
I think they're doing the rained out. The guys who got rained, all the bands got rained out since it was basically every Friday
yeah.
are playing, and then you got all the rained out bands. You only need 2 or 3 more acts.
Yeah.
So I think it's just
Yeah.
kind of crummy timing.
Yeah.
State fair
Oh yeah, the
We still
next
got State
day
Fair,
we'll
though.
be at the state fair
after the leader crowns.
for the
The Pump and Pantry Party Pit, right?
Pump and Pantry
Or
Party
stage?
Pit,
Yeah.
Fiesta Latina.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got
Yeah.
Hispanics in the van.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a fair share of Latin percussion. Shout out Kieran Wood.
We got Kieran Wood. On August 29th, we're playing at the 1867 bar again with Blondo and
We never talked about the name of the EP.
Can
I
we
feel
know?
like
Yeah.
Songs for
Songs
Stella.
Stella.
named
Stella's
after his cat.
Stella's my cat. It's also in the picture. My cat.
Our manager.
I love my cat. My sister thinks it's hers, but it's ours. It's like the family's cat.
That's like our cat now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
cat.
I like that now.
So yeah,
Sorry, guys.
her name's Stella. She's awesome. She loves playing. She also breaks faces sometimes.
Also piano,
Yeah,
if you remember
she's
that
the
story. She
manager,
likes
too.
playing piano.
Oh,
Yeah.
always waking Danny up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's our band's manager.
No, the cat was fine. It was this guy.
It's
It was
always
fine.
okay.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
Sleep
Stella's my
talking.
cat. It's not like a love note or anything.
There's somebody that follows us named Stella, and if she's watching this, it's based on the cat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you like Jose and you. I'm
Bro,
not kidding.
oh my God.
Please.
Yeah.
Somebody please get with Jose.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you hook up with the Great Disappointment, like lineup wise, on purpose?
Can I
They're
can I tell you how I met Clem? Actually,
Yeah,
So
jazz legend.
jazz legend Clem Nitchie. My dad is from Wilcox, which from Kearney is about 40
What?
miles. Yeah, so from Kearney, it's about 40 miles south, in between Hildreth and Holdridge. And Jason Nitchie, Clem's dad, was a grade, I think in my dad's grade at Wilcox. Super small school, like 12 kids per grade. So yeah, we would but then Clem's uncle is my dad's best friend. And so we would go to car shows and spot meets, and Clem would just come along. And then Clem started talking about music and stuff. And I got back into contact with him and found out he had a band. So I got kind of
Okay,
roped
what
into
the
that.
heck?
So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing over here. But,
Wants to pan the camera.
yeah, so yeah, cool story how I know Clem Nitchie. It's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it wasn't like on purpose that you guys had him in your lineup. Was that just like a Kieran thing?
Oh, it was on purpose because Kieran already wanted them to play, and then I was like, "Hey, Kieran, Clem, Great Disappointment." And Kieran was like, "Yeah, would you want to play with him?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to," and I know Clem, and so it was pretty cool.
Good.
So
That was a
yeah.
good show.
yeah, I think that was honestly one of my favorite bills. So shout out to Season to Truth.
Bill was good.
Yep.
Am I wrong? Was it just the
And Keegan Colin. Keegan.
Yeah,
He did.
okay.
Yeah. So he'll actually, there's a pop-up show at the Liederkranz in the courtyard. It's advertised.
It's the podcast ain't gonna be out by then.
Is it the 17th?
You missed it.
It's,
you were late.
it's the 24th, I think. Maybe.
Oh, it's later than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, pop-up show. If you guys can watch it, if this hasn't been posted yet, please show up because it would be awesome. So I'll try to make it if I'm not
I'll
busy.
try to make it.
Yep. Super talented dude. So.
You guys made it sound like you're car people. You guys muscle car people or Asian car people?
So okay, I'm gonna touch up on this. I had a 1989 Honda
not
Prelude
leaving.
SI. That was my pride and joy.
Good.
Yeah,
Automatic or
I
5-speed?
like Asian cars, and he had an MR2.
Yeah,
So.
in 1986, I went to.
What color?
It was, you guys can meet or seen
It was red and white.
It was
but-
red. It was
yeah.
originally red, but it was crashed. So I got a white one, and I just transferred the whole front end to
Okay.
that car. So it was red and white. It looked like a Marlboro
Yeah, we used to
red box.
Danny and I were part of the pop-up gang.
Yeah,
Grand
it
Island.
was
We
sick.
had the pop-up lights.
Yeah.
So.
And then I had a Honda Civic that blew the transmission, and then but I'm gonna be honest, I like JDM cars a lot,
Mhm.
but in recent years, I kind of I want a muscle car. I want an American car.
Yeah, JDM cars
Yeah.
were the first thing Danny and I
Mhm.
actually bonded over. So, but I'm actually looking at getting an old Honda motorcycle. Still have a thing for Hondas, so Honda,
Yeah.
a Honda Goldwing or something
Like,
would be
I
awesome.
want a little Grom. That'd be cool.
Yeah, or Grom too. Maybe when I'm moved away, I'll buy a Grom just to get myself around.
Groms are fun.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They're only 3,500
Yeah.
new, super
Pretty good.
affordable. Albeit they can't go on the highway, but I don't know why you don't want to take that on the highway.
Yeah,
Did you have an IROC Z?
I don't know. I had an '84. It was a blue 5.7 IROC Z.
My
with
dad
two
had an
tops.
IROC Z in high school, but if for whatever reason, when you guys are really rich and want to give my dad like a gift, get
That's
my dad
it.
a Buick Grand National.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my
87.
dad's dream car. So
That'd be pretty sweet.
yeah, so I don't know. I had to throw that out there.
Collective gift, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, I've never owned an automatic
Yeah, we get it.
transmission.
We
Yeah,
get it. I'm
you did.
one with the car.
Put that
I play
in
the
there.
drums and I shift my car.
Yeah, no, I'm old school.
You wouldn't even understand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, acoustic. Like I'm super dense electric drums, and I only drive
You don't-
manuals. I'm old as hell already. What were you?
I've seen you stall out in that truck so many times, bro.
I've never. Dude, I've literally stalled.
He's
I've
been
literally
exposed.
literally. No, this is like no. I'm actually being serious. The only times I've stalled out were in Josh's driveway when I'm trying to move. And like I mean, I don't stall out. So my driveway's downhill, so I just like pushed in the clutch. Like I don't think I've ever stalled out like any other time but your driveway. And then that one time I was trying to pull a Yui. Oh, maybe you can put this in. Josh has a crazy neighbor. So going back to Josh's house being in home base, I was parked, and then I don't know. I might have like said something that just like really rattled him. But he knocks on my window. I unroll it.
Like 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning. And like we weren't being too loud. We're talking this volume, but we're outside. He unrolls my window, or I unroll my window. He's talking, oh, on my block. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll park somewhere else. He's like, no fucking cursing on my block. I was like, what? And then, so while I was trying to, like, he was like, get going, like pretending like he's gonna beat me up, and I stalled my truck, trying to, like, I'm, like, trying to go, and I'm, like, freaking out, like, this dude's, like, buff, he's, like, shirtless, it's 1 a.m, it's dark.
Is he coming towards you?
Yes, and I'm trying to start my truck, and, like, I, like, kind of, like, stall. You know where you, like, kind of stall, but you can, like, save it?
Yeah.
I was, like, doing that, and he's like, go! Like, get the fuck out of here! Like, I don't know. That was, like, I don't know why that reminded me, but I feel like it's an important story. And I like called Josh right after, like,
Yeah.
Josh probably knows. I was like rattled up. I was like, dude, like, I think your neighbor's gonna kill me. It was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it still like that with him?
I don't park there anymore.
Oh,
yeah, I
wouldn't either.
I started parking on the other side of the road or in front of the other person's house. But
Yeah.
he wasn't even complaining about me parking there. He was complaining about me, like, cursing.
All my other neighbors are really nice though. They let us make a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to them.
Our first ever, like,
Except
Love
for
to the
the
neighbors.
except for the front door neighbor.
yeah.
So.
Our first ever, like, kind of show was in Josh's backyard.
That was like a dress
And-
rehearsal thing we did.
Yeah.
That was tough.
It was rough, but the neighbors were awesome for letting us do it.
And they came and watched us, and me and Jose like almost got into a fist fight.
Yeah, Jose sang the wrong, like, we all played a song and Jose played another.
Okay, no. Okay, what happened? I'm
You
gonna
guys
be
went against the
completely
set list.
hon-
That's all I'm gonna say.
Completely honest. He started singing the song on the set list, but I had already started playing a different song. Everybody else follows along with it, and Jose just keeps singing the song he's singing, right?
Oh.
And it's working decently, but afterwards I'm like, yeah, that song really doesn't exist, and then Jose just crashes out on me. No, me.
No, I
if
did
you
not.
know me.
I did not.
In
You
front
started
of our
questioning at
audience.
me.
No. I started to make a joke out of it because I was like, yeah, that song really doesn't
Yeah,
exist. We
and
messed up a bit.
you guys start
And
arguing.
then you started arguing with me.
Josh, okay.
No,
the
because I
same-
just told you like, oh, but I thought we were doing this song, and then you started like, well, yeah, but then and
Then
we
you
just-
were there too. What happened?
The
Who started
same-
it?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really remember. I just try to.
The
stab it.
same- the same day
I
that happened-
just play.
No, the same did. I think this is funnier. The same did this happens. Josh is like, all right, our next song's blah blah blah. Jose has his bass. He's like, how do you play it? And Josh has to like go over and like go on the frets and teach him how to play it in front of a crowd. And
No. That's
I'm not gonna lie,
fair because he did not tell me that. He told me to just not play, because when
No, I taught you how to play that song.
Yeah,
Danny
he did.
remembers
Yeah,
that.
I remember that.
Yeah, but we
yeah,
actually
yeah.
garnered.
He's good now. He's good.
I'm
now.
not
That
even
was
gonna
his
lie.
first
Like for that being our first like backyard show, we had a decent crowd. Like
Yeah.
so, like we were like.
thank
I don't
God
know
that was
my
the first
neighbors,
show though. Because like, if we had done that at the Winchesters, man,
Because we had a
it's
real
like-
show the next
Yeah,
day.
it would have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good to have like that practice show.
We got
just,
we
you
got
know.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got it.
We got the whole fighting out of the way for the real show, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. We haven't fought on stage since.
Yeah. Except for that time with the paper airplane, but we don't talk about that.
Oh yeah, paper airplane.
Oh yeah.
You know what is funny though is like every single time after a gig, he's like, "You and Danny need to come back and like look at me more." And every single time, me and Danny
Bro,
like
just
for
wants
half the gig are
attention,
back there
bro.
just like making funny faces at him, and he's just like locked in and just doesn't look.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
that. Sometimes, we never like talked about this either. We don't use in-ears or click tracks. We're true indie.
We just feel the music.
So yeah, I'm like really like, you're really like trying to listen, but yeah, that's like something that me and Josh at least are pretty strong about. Like, we'll never use click.
I feel like it's like if you have really good feel, you don't need the click.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of pro bands like at Joe's Honky Tonk, for example. There'll be a ton of bands that use clicks, and I'm not going to call anyone out because there's nothing wrong with it. But like, I'm not a click guy either. You know?
Yeah, it's just artificial.
Yeah.
Kieran raised a really good point. If you listen to like any Earth, Wind, and Fire from start to finish, they speed up the whole song, but you never notice because it's natural.
I would like to point out that I'm not like dissing on click tracks as a whole. They have a place in music because like in a stadium show when everything's lined up with the lights and screens,
For
like you
big
have to have a click.
performances,
But
yeah.
like, but for stuff like we're doing, it just you don't need that.
You don't need it. Yeah.
It really gets rid of a lot of like when we play music, we want 4 humans. Like we want like 4 humans playing music. We don't want like robots on stage, Like we want it to be really authentic.
If you want to hear it exactly how the recording is, just go on Spotify and listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like live music is supposed to have some mistakes. That's the point of live music. Like you're not. I feel like, at least in my opinion, you're not doing a live show expecting Spotify quality. Like you're doing a live show to see them play.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously like a good live show is awesome, but like when there's like a little human aspect to it, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So we kind of like keeping that. So
What's your guys' favorite part of a live show? I guess just down the line, start with Jose.
I'd say after, because I mean, I'd say during is like a.
just joshing.
No, but like, I'm not gonna say like playing during going through like the show is not like cool enough, but I don't know, something about just like ending it and then just having that like rush of like, oh my god, I just I like that feeling like I did good, that feeling of people are like actually clapping, people are smiling, it's like I don't know, the feeling of it just like ending and then just in a good note. Falling into place, even if like along the road you just kind of like messed up a bit, but people are still like smiling and like like cheering on for you. It's like, yeah, it's a good feeling, just like the end,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Danny?
It's gonna be during during the show. I like how when we do our set list, it's usually I start off on guitar and then I switch off to bass, which is pretty sick because once I switch over to bass, I get a really good feel of like everything. And so then when I go to when I switch over to guitar, it's like, all right, I'm in the headspace, I'm in the zone. You know what I mean? So it's like that like whole part after the first song. The first song's good. Like I'm ready for it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like when I go to bass and then like I feel everything.
When he goes to bass, I lock in.
Yeah.
So
and then afterwards, when I switch over to guitar, I think it's sick because I'm already like I'm just confident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, like I got this. So I think it's that.
Yeah, Connor.
I think my favorite part is like the slower songs where like I can really just like dig into the song. Like, there's the songs where I'm like keeping time, but then there's the songs where I'm just like really like adding like oomph to it. Like Danny's song and Accutane are the two that are especially like that. But where I can just like really hit, like you'll see, like if you ever seen like videos or just see me on stage, I'll do like, I'll make like some weird faces when I play, but it's just like when those moments in music happen where it's like slow and just really felt, I'm like really just like feeling it. Like at Duffy's when we were playing Danny's song, like I remember like having goosebumps when I was playing, just because like.
Yeah, you were making some weird faces.
I know, I made some weird
I think we
faces,
all were.
like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just like, because Danny's song is just really slow and felt, and there's like no sound, and then the distortion of the drums kicking at the same time, and it's just like for me, and I hope everyone like listening and watching feels it too, like it's just like hair stand up, and it's like, that's my favorite part, just like the musical aspect. I think, like, not trying to sound corny, but like music is truly magic, so, yeah, just like those like really like awesome musical moments that just like where everything just comes together and it's like Like we feel the music, people, and you can tell. Like I also love when I play, and I'm feeding off the crowd's energy. Like I can tell if the crowd's feeling the music or if I need to go a little more. So.
Good. Josh?
My favorite aspect is kind of like, you know, when I'm playing a song that I've played a million times and like my body just kind of goes on autopilot playing it because it's like it's just muscle memory at that point, and then I can really focus on like, you know, like locking in with the crowd and stage presence stuff. I really like that. And there's two particular, really just one. It's the closer to the set, because we always close with the song called "The Great Teenage Escape," and so it's like the most high energy song in the set.
The big sticks.
And it's
I should have said
we whip
that.
out like some
They're like
some like gag stuff. Like we got these big sticks, we got big
This
picks, we
propeller
got
hat.
this propeller hat that we put on sometimes.
it's just fun.
And it's a really fun song, but everybody like there's different parts to it, and it's like it's not a hard song to play because we played it so many times, but it's a good song because you can really be hyped up during it. And then I played all the songs and I'm like, okay, everything went pretty good at this point. I've just got to lock in at this. This is easy, and like I just get into the flow, and then like it's the same riff over and over again. So I just lock in.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I like how
song.
repetitive. So Great Teen Escape's our closer. It's so repetitive that by the end of the last verses, you'll see people in the crowd like kind of like starting to like
singing to
It's
sing into it.
really weird, especially at Duffy's. We had people start to singing. Like we didn't provoke it. Like they started singing along, and it was like it was really weird.
It was like kind of like not to be corny. It was kind of magical. It was just like it's like wow, like you're kind of like like we're kind of like controlling the room. That's actually I think that's one of my favorite parts of music is like Kieran, big shout out again. He gave me some of the best advice ever for drumming. He's like, you're a good drummer. People can dance to your drumming. So if I see people move around, like I just think that's like really cool. So
I like the Great Teen Escape is like, I think we all agree it's probably the funnest to play.
Yeah.
It's just
It is
100%
like-
play.
Sometimes if we get like cornier teenagers in the crowd, not cornier, but like more hyped up.
no, cut that.
Cut that.
Cut
That's not
that.
what I mean.
Cut
They're
that.
really awesome supporters.
Yes, they are, but they.
That's the
they
face of somebody
they're
who's not going
corny
to cut that.
sometimes. When there's a crowd full of more passionate people, like they'll start to mosh during that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really like that's just
it's-
going.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fun song to
Yeah.
watch.
Just like seeing people just move around.
Yeah.
And just the like, I mean, anyone can tell what Great Teen Escape's about. It's
The funny thing about this song is like, well, it's kind of connected to kind of all of us, I wrote it because,
our age group.
yeah, I never wanted to be like my father because, he was never there. It's also just about like, living your own life and just having fun along the way pretty much, and just doing it your own way pretty much. Just remember that the lessons along the way is what makes you, Like I said, we all have our like own iteration of it.
I think
Danny
that's
has his
important.
own
A
ways.
song, like a good song, has a deep meaning to the writer, but it can also be taken in multiple contexts.
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
listener.
that's
And a
why I
good
like it.
songwriter will be like, take it how you want. This is what I think. Take it how you want.
That's what I love of Great
That's-
Teen Escape. It's like it's something for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking like the other day, I was like thinking about our show and Great Teen Escape. I was like, I'm gonna hear like Great Teen Escape when I'm 40, and I'll be like, I don't know, it'll like kind of like hit me like, oh, I was in a band back in the day. Like there's like kind of like
It'll
really
be the
cool.
nostalgic.
Yeah, it'll be really nostalgic.
In the retirement home, you're just gonna like hear it.
Yeah, I'll start
You're like,
I'll start like
the flashbacks.
yeah,
start spazzing out.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
no, but there's like something like really special about that song. Like it kind of like
You know what's amazing is we wrote it without any drums.
yeah, and like the drums are really driving, which is really impressive for them. But like something's like somehow the song's like really high energy, but somehow it like kind of hits you in your feels like in a weird way. Like it just makes you like I don't know feel something. I don't know how to describe it, but
Where we first started like playing that, and we would like play it on for like 30 minutes straight.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
no
Dude,
slow,
we'd even
with
play
no
without
slow
drums.
parts.
For
Yeah,
30 minutes.
yeah,
So,
sure.
Yeah.
No, the
Just
fact
play
that there
it.
wasn't a slow part is like dumbfounding to me.
Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah.
kind of like that little part where we slow down, and I did that little like.
Solo, there used
Yeah.
to, but I added that.
Oh yeah, that was,
that was
okay,
kind of
that
We'll
was
give.
And that was
Connor's
after
credit,
our
you know?
first Liederkranz gig. So there's a
Yeah,
gig.
you're right.
So that's last song has a slow part. That's when I whip out the big six. But that
Or
song
the
used to
proper
not have that because I was like, "Yo, this song's like just going on the whole time. We need
We
something."
need to slow
So-
it down. Yeah.
Yeah, and Danny's solo there is like, I think that's what gets people like in the feels. Like It's not like the kind of thing where people have their flashlight out. No one actually does it.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
I forgot about
The
that.
crowd was really into it.
Yes. Yeah.
I looked down, they were singing along with their flashlights out. I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on?
Yeah, so going back to that Duffy's crowd, the encore, we never actually like talked about that. Josh just mentioned it. We got done playing Great Teen Escape, and it ends, it's a trash can ending, and I'm just going crazy, so are they, and then and then we hit a unison hit, like just this big grand ending, so it's obviously the end. Then Josh's uncle goes, one more, like just as a joke.
And then
Dude,
everybody starts singing.
all like these
Full
girls
10
in the
teenage
crowd.
girls in the crowd.
It was more than that. It was
You
like
know what's worse?
15
Like when
or
I
so.
was like talking and saying like, you guys want another one? They're like, yeah. And then Josh goes like,
Yeah.
oh, but I want
No,
to leave.
and like we were like
Well, I did,
no,
bro.
but we were
You need to know, Ben knows how it is. You're done playing the
Yeah,
set, and it's
no.
like, yeah, this is
We
the end
did
of the
want to
set,
leave
you know?
because we were an hour and like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then like we started playing. Well, technically we were supposed to start playing at what 11.
yeah.
And like,
But we
y'all
got
had-
done early.
I mean, it was on a Sunday too, so Monday is like start a new week.
Yeah, we
so
gotta
we wanted to
work.
get out of
Yeah,
there.
but like
the crowd was
they just like
confident,
the one more song was kind of a joke, but then people started saying "Play Gone Girl," like the song's not even out yet, and people remembered the song. Like
Yeah.
people were like "Play Gone Girl," and
I don't like that song. It's so basic.
but I think that was just really cool that song stuck with them to where they remembered the name.
Yeah.
And they wanted to hear it again, and they knew the words when we played it the second time. Like that was really cool. So
Yeah, I like the crowd really liked that one. I remember.
Yeah.
saying that. They were
Yeah,
like,
so
yeah, that's what
I don't like
music's
that
all
one because
about.
I wrote it in middle school, so it's like all open chords.
Well, yesterday.
yesterday.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
an encore wasn't planned, but it was just a good.
I don't
was
like
super-
doing that because I want to leave the crowd wanting more.
But that was so memorable, the how we did that encore, because
Yeah.
we ended the song early actually,
Yeah.
and like it was like
I'm glad we did it, but at first I didn't want to do it. I was trying to go.
yeah, it was like it was cool. Like I didn't expect
Yeah, it was
it.
fun.
Hence me saying like that's why I like the like when we end, because it's like
I get
Yeah.
self-conscious when we end. I'm like, man, was that? Did people actually like
Yeah,
that?
I get like Jose was saying he loves like when the show's over. I'm like the other way around. I'm
Yeah.
just the whole time I'm thinking like they'll know I can be a dick afterwards because I just start like being super hard on myself for no reason. I don't know if any of them are like that too, but we end the show and I'm like, I did this, I did that, I didn't do this, I didn't, So
Yeah.
and I think like Josh was saying, so that was actually that kind of like got rid of those like internal fears playing that encore and just having fun. Like I didn't really I wasn't self-conscious. I was just like having fun. So
Do you guys ever entertain the crowd at all? Like, you guys have a very wide variety of music, even though you're an original band from the Midwest. If someone like calls out like, I don't want to be generic and
Wonderwall.
say Freebird or Wonderwall,
yeah.
but
No,
I
we
mean,
wouldn't play that.
if someone's like AC/DC, would you do it?
no,
No,
We're not talented enough.
We're
to
not-
actually play that.
we're not a cover band, but like we're going. Some of these smaller bar gigs. I think,
They want to play. He wants to play covers
No.
in particular. I do not want to play
I'm
covers.
not-
That is like
I'm
I
not
would
really,
rather
like-
be home than play
I
covers.
honestly don't like. I could go both ways with playing them, but I know if we don't play covers at these smaller bar gigs, like no one's gonna care. So it's just like something I feel like we have to throw in.
It's tough being an original band.
Yeah, being an original band like at Duffy's and Liederkranz is awesome. That's a music crowd, but then you go to a bar and like in Nebraska, that's what most of your gigs.
To
are
me,
gonna
in
be.
those places, like I could really care less. What
Yeah,
the crowd
but-
thinks about us. It's
Yeah.
like if you ain't into it, like
But maybe
like-
we play for the right person.
And as like really soulful musicians too, like you two especially are big singers, Jose and Danny. So when you do have instruments on you, do you guys feel like it restricts you as the singer of that song?
Personally, for me, if I sing like a cover and like I'm playing it too, it does. But like, I guess the only song that I kind of I guess I technically sing two songs that kind of give background vocals and backroom daydreams.
Mm-hmm.
But for at least my song, no, because it's really I'm not really caring too much on how like,
It's raw.
yeah, it's very like
Yeah.
I want you to feel like the emotion of it, not really care too much of how like what's it called. Alright, give me a second. Music words down here for the 15-year-old and the 16-year-old.
that's crazy.
It's just meant to be like, you know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
like
Emotional.
emotional. So I think that's what makes it cool. So I'm not really caring too much if like, oh,
Raw, unsheathed.
Yeah.
Other words.
But it's probably different for him.
For me, I will say at the beginning it was, for like the songs that I do play bass in, because I have to like play, I have to like I have to
Float on.
yeah.
Yeah, we tried.
I've gotten better. I've gotten better.
That was an awakening.
Yeah, I
moment for all
practice
of us,
still, but like
especially.
like I said at the beginning, it was hard, because I had to like look down and then I had to like like sing and like kind of like do this.
Yeah.
Now that I've like practiced these songs so much and like done it, I've done it over and over. It's become more natural to me. So now
I'm sunburned. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's become pretty natural. So now I just don't really struggle with it anymore. But I feel like when I don't have the bass on me, I feel like I do slightly better.
Fair.
So yeah, like I said, it's kind of like a yes, but kind of no thing. It's like,
for all the drummers out there, please let me know if any of you guys can play and sing, because I think it's impossible. It's really
Drop it down in the comments.
I can do Straight Outta Compton and play the drums at the same time, and that's the only song I've ever been able to pull off doing. And
I can do like a 4 on the floor, but the second I try like doing something like I normally would do, I just can't. And I can't even think like Phil Collins and Anderson .Paak are I think like the only two who drum and sing well at the same time.
Yeah, like really well.
Yeah, like really well. So obviously I don't do any singing with Frantic Youth, but I've tried doing it with other, and I just can't. So
maybe you're overthinking it. I just like zone out because like Straight Outta Compton's like. Yeah, and that's hard, So like, I'm actually proud of that, but like, but I'll screw it up like immediately. Like a few measures in, I'll be like,
you gotta showcase that, Bruce.
Let me know what Duffy's.
I don't know why this reminds me. Maybe you can put this in the podcast or not. But it was like around Christmas time. I'm in the Northwest High School Jazz Band, and I pull out a jazz chart to play, obviously, and Ben Krapicka is written on the jazz chart with notes and cues, and I play with the notes and cues. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was like kind of weird and full circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played. I don't know what song. I can't remember what song it was. Oh, Hot Chocolate from Polar Express.
Oh man.
Yeah. So like I was playing Hot Chocolate from the Polar Express with Ben's cues all on it. So.
What's you guys' relationships like outside of work? Do you spend more time with your friends, with your family? Do you have a pretty good balance between work, band, family, and friends?
I'm a triplet. I got 2 siblings the same age as me. I'm actually in a jazz combo with Josh and my brother. So we're in a jazz combo, so that's fun. So we connect with music a little bit. My sister and I'm not super close to my siblings. I'm not as close as I wish I was to them. But my sister and I will still bond over random stuff. But I like to hang out with my friends. I don't know. I used to skate a lot, and I gotta stay family friendly. Yeah, I mean, I'll spend some time with the family, some time with the friends, but usually I'm working or I'll go to the gym. I love going fishing and bowling with my friends. So there you go. You can put that in there. Yeah.
All right, Jose, Danny.
Technically, I have an older brother.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
What?
I didn't know that.
I technically have an older brother.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's from
29.
his
Yeah.
dad's part of the family.
Yeah, from my dad's part of the family. It's like a half brother, I guess.
Jeez, he's almost 30.
But like I guess yeah. So yeah, I mean he was around quite a bit.
I did not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What was he like?
Shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a big influence on your guitar playing? Right?
No,
No, but he was a gamer. It's
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
I don't really know much about him, but
Josie.
oh
No.
all right then.
Well, I
Sorry.
practically know him probably a little bit more than his
Yeah,
brother.
I was gonna say, like growing up, we're I guess I would consider him my sibling just because we're like this, you know what I mean? So
No, what the? I thought we were like this, but then he goes and drops some lore like that I never heard.
yeah.
You don't even know.
Yeah,
that.
I
don't even know that.
Yeah,
I will say out of
Spike.
I have a lot of like things going on in my life. Like I got work, I got friends, I got a bunch of stuff going on this year, next year, like, a whole like plan. So it'd be like
That's crazy.
So I got future plans. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really busy.
Well, Jose, what do you got?
Me? Well, I do go bowling with my friends from time to time.
You
You have friends?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
I had a feeling. I had a feeling.
No, this
You
okay.
guys cracked that bowling.
Yeah,
No, but I gotta give credit to a friend of mine who takes me to bowling. He's like, let's go bowling.
Max Mendez.
No, well, him and Sean.
Shout out to Max Mendez.
Sean Mendez.
Day one, Frantic Youth
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah. And shout out to Sean Silva who taught me how to bowl.
Yeah, Sean. I
sister
do tassel with
knows
him.
Yeah. No, but like, I bowl with my friends. I work at Home Depot, like, it's pretty balanced, now that, like, I'm 20, like, I pay my bills and stuff like that, so,
Yep. So is but
Yeah, that's crazy. No, but, it's pretty normal stuff, I go out and stuff, I do, like, my own
big partier, big party animal over here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Jose is
Watch out for this
like
guy.
Jose is a saint.
Yeah.
Like we love that.
We
For him.
Never drank before.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the truth. He's not just
21st birthday and
a week.
like-
I'll be drinking on June 12th.
Yeah.
Just shout out right there.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you.
That'll be my first drink.
This is
I won't be
alright.
here.
This is Bill and Ark. He's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This probably be the
the
last
lyrics
time
are gonna get better.
Yeah.
What his life is gonna get worse.
No,
This'll be-
something
Yeah.
something Danny has always said to Jose just to give him shit about is Jose will write something and Danny will be like, dude, you need something traumatizing
To
to happen
happen
to
to
you.
me, like,
So that's a little.
the only traumatic thing I could say is like me
Guatemala.
being in a like okay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, the first 2 years were
Whatever.
bad, but like, bro, like the only traumatic thing would be like the car crash that I was in, but that's
I
it.
remember that.
Yeah, you
remember
remember that. Yeah, no, this will be the last you'll see of Nice Jose.
Shout out to David. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
mini me.
He's
of
like Josh's mini me, and it's
Yeah.
like really cool.
Most of my friends I hang out with are musicians, besides like 2 people. So Yeah.
Shout out to Kubler.
shout out to Kubler.
Took pictures for us. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
the
Kibler.
pictures on our Spotify.
Yeah,
Those
Kibler,
awesome, really
Kubler.
cool pictures in the hills. Kubler.
yeah. Aiden Kibler.
Aiden, not Alec. Aiden.
Aiden
Yep.
Kibler. Shout out to Aiden.
Yeah,
Good
shout out to
photographer.
Aiden. Yeah.
Best friend since the 2nd grade.
Yep. Sacking.
Second.
Sacking.
But
They
yeah,
ain't from around here.
Ain't no
They don't
word.
know.
I'm actually.
Oh, actually, I thought you were Filipinese or whatever.
That's
Like-
crazy.
Do you guys do anything else recreationally, or do you guys don't have any like golfers, tennis players, hunters, anything like that in the group?
I
And like
fish
that,
too.
like,
Basketball. I like sports a lot.
yeah.
like sports.
I like soccer. So.
I
Football.
love
Well.
Come on!
Come up to a flare.
I was gonna say I like baseball. I was,
Well.
I was on the swim team too, so I'm like super white.
Well.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like swimming laps
Yeah, we knew
with
that.
the old people at the Y.
They all play video games with me. I don't play video games.
All right. I'm a big Fallout nerd.
Hey.
Like
Yeah.
a really big Fallout nerd. But as far as I don't play as much right now. So I mean, but occasionally, I even bought an old 360 just so I could play like the OG games and the DLCs and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm really into that. I guess.
Good.
Yeah, I got a pretty solid collection of consoles. I have 2 hacked DSs that are jailbroken,
You got the
so
100
with homebrew
DS
on them.
games.
But I really like old RPGs. Like your Final Fantasies. I love Silent Hill.
Mhm.
Silent Hill is awesome. That's another big music inspiration I didn't talk about. When I was still producing music, Silent Hill was a big inspiration. Pokemon, and then Minecraft. I'll always gotta
Seems
have
like
Minecraft.
straight out of middle school.
No,
Looks
it's
like
like
it.
it's like the things like I liked in middle school that kids used to bully you for. Like you get older and you go back to it and you're like, damn.
I'll bully
Middle
you.
school-
I'll still bully you.
Middle
Phil.
school Connor was kind of with the shits, It's like
It's not.
like
What about you?
Me, kind of like Danny. I'm also a huge Fallout nerd, But I guess I'm more into the competitive kind of games, not like Fortnite or Apex, more Overwatch or
Rocket League.
no, hell no,
I was big.
Hell
Candy
no.
Crush.
I hate
I was-
Rocket
I
League
was big
to
Rocket League.
death.
I was a tryhard
I-
at that.
nah.
Rocket League players
No,
are
but,
weird. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I used to be good at Overwatch.
You know what, Danny? You seem like the kind of guy that, in elementary school, middle school, you play cookie clicker, absolutely.
I did.
You
I did.
crash out with somebody.
Yeah,
your game,
yeah,
bro.
but-
Hold on. I gotta say this.
Yeah.
I had a cookie clicker game. Go from middle of 8th grade to middle of sophomore year in high school.
Oh,
I had the same Chromebook. I requested to keep my Chromebook at my house during the summer, and I kept it plugged in with the screen on.
There's no way.
So I had a cookie clicker.
Were you a cookie clicker crash
Yeah.
out when somebody would like reload your screen though? You see
I
that kind
was.
of guy?
I was.
I didn't get into it too much.
They updated the
But-
game so where you can like
I
you can
don't
revive
care.
your game. I know. I love Cookie Clicker was like the shit. Like once you like upgraded your bank, you had a stock market.
Dude, we all know
dude,
how
I was-
cookie clicker worked, bro.
Yeah, dude, come on. It's like we
Dude.
need to know the details of that.
Yeah, not everyone knows about the stock market and Cookie Clicker though. That was like OG.
We get it. You're a
Yeah.
cookie clicker.
No, but
Cookie
like,
quicker
like I said,
swag.
like
Cookie Clicker.
Cookie clicker
Okay,
swag.
swag.
yeah, more like the
Yeah.
competitive side, like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals.
Sure.
Also, quick fact: I was like top 500 for like
your fist bump.
5 seconds.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like but then I lost the game.
I don't play video games. I don't
Minecrafter right here, by the way.
I don't play Minecraft.
I'm a Minecrafter.
No, I was
bro.
pointing at.
Yeah, I
Hunter.
love Minecraft. I have like a bajillion hours.
Josh
To me-
just has a game.
To me, if I sit on video games, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I have to be doing something. And
That's why you
so
play
I-
Minecraft. It feels
no,
like you're doing
that
something.
definitely feels like I'm wasting my time.
No, it feels like you feel productive.
if I'm not doing something with music, I like riding bikes and I like reading books, and yeah, sometimes I just like.
That's why
go on a record.
single player games exist. You know what I mean? Just enjoy the.
When you don't have friends, that's why single players.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I think it's just the age gap between. 'Cause
Yeah.
For some reason, everyone like
Yeah.
our age right here is like
Everybody
very
my
into
age
it.
plays video
Yeah.
games too.
Yeah,
you
but all
can-
the lame ones though. It's
Yeah,
not
you
really
can
the
you
same.
can throw this in.
We get it, Unk.
You can throw
Yeah.
this in, but like with Josh's age, nothing against him. He can't control when he was born. There is a little bit of like a disconnect sometimes. Like he's sometimes he can be a little more Gen Alpha. He can be a little more, you know.
I'm Gen Z, bro. I'm like 5 years
Barely.
deep in the
Yeah.
Gen Z. Literally.
No, but like there's
I'm
some
literally Gen Z.
there's like some things that like we connect with, and Josh is just like.
You're
He's
old,
like, what's
bro.
that?
Yeah, like we'll talk about like Black Ops on the 360, and just
no,
Or we're talking like about the Amazing World of Gumball.
I watched The Amazing World of Gumball,
You know,
bro.
I
I'm
didn't
the one
like
that brought up
Gumball,
that.
actually.
I was a
You didn't like
regular
Gumball?
show.
Oh,
I
that's
love.
crazy.
Why are
I
we
was a
here
regular
then?
show guy.
Actually,
Why
no,
am I
regular show.
talking to
No,
you?
Regular show,
No,
yeah.
regular show. Regular,
Yeah, regular show. Yeah, Devin, that's right. That's right.
Nah, Gumball was better. Gumball was better.
They can be
Well,
anyone if
no,
they
you're
get
tripping,
their
bro.
being
Regular
fired
show.
dog.
Yeah, I'm
Regular
sorry.
show
See,
for
this
that.
is what we mean about like a disconnect.
Whoa.
Whoa. Dude, Vince is gonna snap his crank. Yeah.
What?
You see? Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like we all get along, and then there'll be
You
something.
just call us boomers, bro.
They'll just randomly be something that will like remind us that like Josh is younger than us. Or, like,
Yeah.
Like 3 years too. Like it's
no,
not
but
even
like,
that big of
but
an
sometimes
age gap.
like I think I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was like Nick Teen Choice Awards or something like that. We're talking about like
Dude, I watched the Nickelodeon TV.
no, okay, so it was something. It was
They
something.
just like yap and they like to act like they're like
no, but
4 years old.
we were talking about
like all this
something.
crap they're talking about. I just wasn't into.
No,
like
there's
I
something.
watched.
It was like
it.
something you watched that, or that we watched, and you're like, "What's that?" Or like, "I've never watched."
Oh,
it
Teen
before.
Titans.
Teen
Was it?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
Teen Titans. It was
Yeah,
original.
the
He was like, Teen Titans is such a stupid show.
And we were like,
And we're like, what? What are you talking
Teen
about?
Titans is pretty deep.
We show
honestly.
him like the original Teen Titans. He's like, that's not the one I watched.
I was watching Teen Titans Go, bro. No, that was hilarious, dude. Because Beastie, like whatever the little green guy was,
Beastie
Yeah,
Boy,
he's
you
he's
were
like
getting
really
it.
into goth girls. But like like you watch it now and you see all the jokes with him and the whatever the goth
Raven.
Like, yes,
See, this is like
it's
what we're talking about.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. Like his idea of Teen Titans was Teen Titans Go, and we were like no.
but it's
you
Teen
know.
Titans, man, like the original,
Yeah.
the OG. Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo. There was like, they stopped making the one and they started making the other. Like, it's
Bro, but
not
it has
even
such a
year of
huge
a
loss,
gap.
though,
It's
man.
very
It's
It,
like,
it is an L now.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude, it's like,
no.
man, that was like one of the like biggest. Like,
I don't,
heartbreaks
but
ever.
it looks too much like anime to me. I don't like anime.
Bro, you gotta like. I'm telling him like he
The
thinks
only
anime is
anime
all like
lover
One Piece.
here.
Like you gotta watch like Cowboy
No,
Bebop.
anime,
or, like,
anime gives me sack and
Yeah.
like, I can't even like, if
You
there's
gotta
somebody has like
watch-
an anime sticker on their guitar, I'm like, ugh,
That's
why'd you
weird.
do
Yeah,
that? Like,
no, but you
that's
gotta.
weird.
I'm not into
You
anime.
gotta watch like the older, like more artsy or stuff. Like
no.
like what's
He
Akira.
Down
just
on
like-
some
like,
stuff. You
just
gotta
like-
give her.
yeah, you just gotta give it a shot. You
Doesn't
just
make me
give it
feel
a
right
shot.
like
now.
Yeah.
you're still kind of in that like just got out of middle school phase where you kind of like.
Buddy,
still-
everybody in middle school is obsessed with anime.
Yeah,
Do you
I
not
mean,
remember
people-
middle school?
No,
Yeah.
you're like subconsciously like thinking about what other people think, but once you like get out of that and you watch anime, you're
Nah,
like,
bro.
this is
True. I
pretty
mean,
I know how
I
that
got
makes
into anime when I was in
myself
high
feel.
school. So
Yeah.
you know.
I'm
Nah,
not
like,
really
you don't
into
realize
anime, but
it.
I can like.
Yeah, I mean,
Understand
I
that,
still like
yeah.
anime just because like of the people I was kind of surrounded up with, but I'm not like a diehard kind of like guy. I'm just
Yeah.
I like it, you know.
Everyone
yeah.
will change in like 3 years. So
Yeah.
like 3 years from now, we'll be like, man, what the hell was I saying?
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
like,
but we're
yeah.
3 years ahead of him, so that's like
Yeah.
we have more like what the hell was I saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Like 3 years ago when Danny and I were walking around in
16, yeah.
suits in the rooms.
I wouldn't have
arrest,
done
yeah.
that now. I'm like, what
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about, Misty? I'm not doing that.
They be dogging on me, then I'll be like, I just remind them that I own all the shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
What about like movies? Are you guys like movie people?
Oh,
Oh,
Goodwill
I
Hunting,
am.
Napoleon Dynamite,
No, Napoleon Dynamite. That's
And,
that. Yeah.
and Superbad are my big
Oh,
three.
so I love Superbad.
Me,
dude.
it's Napoleon Dynamite, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, I forgot that one. Yeah.
And probably it's not a movie, but Get Back, the Beatles documentary.
yeah.
That,
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I plan on like owning that on DVD. Like,
I like
Say
have like
something.
3 favorite movies.
get out.
No, but like one of them is like a
So
movie that we
anyways,
both watched.
no, I'm just kidding.
One of the movies that are my favorite is like one that we both watched together at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Remember the Scooby Doo one?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
Scooby Doo one?
Was it like the Monster Island one?
Yeah, I think it was a monster.
Yeah.
Can I be 100% like honest right now?
Yeah.
When I was about like 7 years old, I was like deathly afraid of Scooby Doo.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
That's,
because
that,
he
like,
probably grew
actually
up.
scared
He
me.
probably grew up with like the.
It was the
live action
same
one,
crap
yeah.
we watched, man. It
I
was
watched
not.
the cartoon,
Dude,
one.
when
What
we were
about you
watching, we
guys?
watched Cartoon Network at the same time, dude. We're
cartoon
not
and the
on
real life
like
version?
this isn't.
I don't remember-
generations apart.
Wait, so did you watch like the old school like '60s cartoon, or did you watch like a 3D CGI?
Yeah, it was not the 3D CGI, man.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were talking about. I was like, yeah, that is
No.
like that was like when I was like
That wasn't
10.
even around.
Dude,
when
Scooby
we
Doo: The Mystery Begins is like low-key kind of scary though. Like that opening scene where they're like in the factory, or whatever, and that like demented like Pillsbury Doughboy looking
Yeah.
ghost is in there, dude. I still think about that thing, that like jester thing.
No, Mystery Incorporated. That like has a lot of like.
Yeah, dude,
lore
that's-
behind- or, like,
Dude, they even
that's
have
a
like
story for
like
it. It's
somebody
pretty-
dying in that
it's
show.
pretty
too.
sick.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You
pretty
remember
sick.
the-
I actually
what were
like
we
that.
gonna
Somebody
ask?
died
I
of
saw you
gunshot, I
like
think.
that.
You know, literally executed style, bro.
Gotta let our guest talk.
Well,
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
just, I was just
It's
thinking,
our podcast.
I guess
now.
I was just thinking about our time. Honestly, do you guys want to hit us with a quick,
Outro.
tiny desk?
You know what will make Benson give us a raise?
What?
Ham pony.
Anybody can save your life one of these days.
Yeah.
All right, no, I'm good. Okay, we're good.
This better be good, bro. I'm gonna crash.
We can cut it out. We can cut it out either way.
This is-
Alright. Yep. So this is our brand new single, "A Dirty Pavement."
I walk out through the door and I look up. The lights keep looking down at me, and I keep on trying to find an end to the road ahead. Why should I lie? I'd rather tell the truth. Why should I lie? I'd rather tell the truth. I see a tree beside an abandoned road. Why should I lie? I'd rather tell the truth. Oh, rather tell the truth. Rather tell the truth. We've got to.
We've actually all been really into competitive jerkmate.
Oh my god, cut that out.
You're gonna have to
Cut
cut
that
that.
out. Cut that out.
That is a child.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a
Josh,
minor.
Josh is the one who like says that the
I
most.
do. I'm
Yeah.
saying the most out of pocket stuff.
Yeah.
And then when they feed off of it, I'll be like, dude, you know I'm a minor, right?